I'm Dr. Barry, licensed psychologist, and here we talk about true crime and psychology. Thank you so much for joining. Let's hop right into today's topic. Let's go. Welcome. I don't always get to cover live cases or live trial. Today, in the Christine Banfield and Joseph Ryan, those are the victims in the case where Brendan Banfield, he is charged with the death of his wife, and also this stranger. The allegation is that Brendan and Juliana, that they interacted with users on a fetish website, and or it's like an app or something, and they would chat with different users, and they found a user that was willing to go along with their plan. Like that's what the state is presenting. Juliana started her testimony yesterday, and I have a video linked in the description, and I also have it in the chat if you missed yesterday's testimony. But the gist of it was pretty much that Juliana said that it was a plan that was developed by Brendan. She went along with every aspect of it, and she was able to cut a deal with the state. This is called the au pair capital M trial, because she was an au pair from Brazil, and she was getting paid $200 a week. And then she lived full time with the family. And at some point, began an affair with the defendant. The defendant's defense, so they admit that yes, there was definitely an affair. They deny that he did the thing to his wife. Their theory is that Joseph Ryan, that he's the one that Christine, and the state believes that there's other evidence for this. Let me share, because there is a picture that just kind of helps us understand who everybody is. Welcome to everybody that's in the chat. Let me know if y'all have any questions as we're going. So Juliana is the one that's going to be on the stand. Brendan is the defendant. Christine is the wife. And Joe Ryan, he is the stranger. All right. And so now let's hop right into today's testimony. So I skipped the part where Juliana comes in. She is in custody. There we go. Because she pled guilty to manslaughter, and he is charged with first degree capital M for, and also child endangerment, because there was I think she was 4 years old at the time. Christine and Brendan's daughter was in the basement at the time of this incident, and so those are the things that he's charged with. We are watching this live, so content warnings for all the things. The state is finishing up their direct examination of Juliana, and then the defense is going to get to cross-examine. Let me know if anything sounds off. I am streaming with a different setup. Hey, Afton, I'm streaming with a different setup from my office, my actual work office. I normally stream on Tuesdays and Saturdays from my home office. Let's hop right in.
When we ended yesterday, I had asked you if you had told the police that you spoke to on the day that this happened, what you told us yesterday.
I told the version that Brendan had told me,
And why did you do that?
because that's what he had told me all along. If I ever was going to speak with the lawyer, or I should have told that version.
Okay. And were you ever arrested on for the events that happened that day?
Yes,
And when were you arrested?
October 2023.
And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you Commonwealth 79, and I'm going
She was arrested before he was arrested. Anytime I interrupt, I'll try to make myself big for people watching on replay. That's why I go between those two different, from me being small to being big. When we're just watching, I'll be small. When I'm providing commentary, I'll go to this view. But she was arrested first. He was arrested later. I do have it sped up to 1.3 speed, and we may speed it up a little bit more on cross-examination because I think there were more pauses on cross-examination. Okay.
I'm going to ask for it to be displayed to the witness and counsel only at this point.
All right.
Do you have a document on your screen?
No.
It would be on your screen too.
It would be on my screen too. I think it-
Technical difficulties.
I'm going to scroll through it so you can see it. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
What is it?
It's my plea agreement.
Judge, at this point, I'd ask the court to enter Commonwealth 79
All right.
into evidence,
Any objection?
No.
All right, 79 in evidence.
and this can be published.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to scroll down again, and I'm going to ask if you signed the document.
Yes.
That's your signature?
Yes.
Can you read paragraph 5 for us aloud?
Yeah. My attorneys have advised me that the punishment which the law provides is as follows: a maximum of 10 years imprisonment and a minimum of 1 year's imprisonment, or in the discretion of the jury or the judge sitting without a jury, up to 12 months in jail and or a fine of not more than 2,500, or both. And also the probation may or may not be granted, and that if I plead guilty to more than one offense, the court may order the sentences to be consecutively, that is, one after another.
And then I'd like you to look at paragraph 8. Can you read paragraph 8 aloud for us, please?
Yes. The following plea agreement is the full and complete agreement between me, my attorneys, and the Commonwealth's attorney. The Commonwealth has amended count 1 of the indictment and will not cross count 2. The Commonwealth will recommend the defendant to be sentenced to a period of active incarceration, capped at the time served at the time of sentencing, provided she remains incarcerated until such time and conditioned upon the defendant's continued cooperation with the Commonwealth. All terms and conditions of the sentence shall be in discretion of the court.
So, do you understand that this document tells us that you pled guilty to manslaughter?
Yes.
And do you understand that this document tells us that the maximum penalty for manslaughter is 10 years?
Yes.
And is it your understanding that you can receive up to 10 years for this
Yes.
in this plea? Is it fair to say that you hope that you get less than 10 years?
Yes.
And before you entered this guilty plea, did you have your own attorneys?
Yes.
And were you able to discuss with your attorneys the options that you had with regard to your own case in this matter?
Yes.
And were you able to discuss with them your option to have a trial if that's what you wanted to do?
Yes.
And were you able to discuss with them options for a plea agreement, to talk about a plea agreement?
Yes.
And when you talked with your attorneys, did they talk with you about all of the options that you have, the evidence in your case? Did you have full discussions with them?
Yes.
Do you know who paid for your attorneys?
State,
Who, what? I'm sorry.
Who paid for your attorneys?
Virginia.
Brennan's mother.
And so you were arrested.
That's suspicious. That's really weird. The defendant's mother paid for the au pair's attorney? Huh. I wonder what the jury's going to think about that. I personally would have some thoughts about that, because I wonder if they're still paying for her attorney or if that changed at some point. Because I wonder if she flipped on him, if I don't know. I don't know what happened with that. Okay.
In October of 2023, and you entered your guilty plea in October 2024. Why did you wait a year?
I'm sorry.
Why did you wait a year?
I had things I was concerned about. such as I was afraid of not being able to be represented if they stopped the payment. I was afraid of not having any way of communication with my family, my mom in Brazil, because I depended on Brenda's mother to do that for me. And
So you said that you were concerned that you wouldn't have representation anymore. What do you mean by that?
because once the payment stopped, I thought I wouldn't have Ryan as my lawyer and it would be just dropped out.
And did that happen, or did Ryan continue to represent you?
He continued to represent me.
And you said you were concerned you wouldn't be able to communicate with your mom. What was your concern? Why was that a concern for you?
Because I only had Brendan's mother or him to help me communicate with my family in Brazil via phone call or messages. I depended on them financially to be able to texting my mom. And
So what ultimately made you decide that you were going to enter this plea?
was the thought of being the right thing to do. I guess we all deserved to know what really happened, and I just couldn't hold it. I just couldn't give it to myself, the feeling of shame and guilt and sadness and all those feelings.
And so you decided to enter a plea. What made you decide to cooperate and testify against the defendant in this case?
Well, I got the plea because it was also the right thing to do, and sorry, and also because I had a potential of getting less time.
Between February 24th, 2023 and October of 2023, did you continue your romantic relationship with the defendant?
Yes.
And after February 24th, 2023, did you ever go back and live at the house on Stablebrook Way?
Yes.
Who lived at the house with you after you were able to go back to the house?
At that point, it was only me, Brendan, and Valerie.
And when you returned to the house,
Valerie is the child.
what bedroom did you stay in?
When we first returned, I stayed in my bedroom, my upper bedroom.
Did anyone stay in that bedroom with you?
Yes.
Who?
Brendan.
And did the two of you ever move into the master bedroom?
Eventually, yes.
Do you recall when?
I would say maybe,
Don't guess. Do you recall when?
no.
When you came to live in that house before February 24th, 2023, when you first arrived in October of 2021, who lived in the master bedroom at that time?
Christine and Brendan.
And where did you live when you came in
I
October 2021?
had my own bedroom.
And where was that bedroom?
It's on the same floor as the master bedroom and Valerie's bedroom.
And did you hang anything up in that bedroom? Did you make it your own?
Yes.
What'd you put up?
A Brazilian flag, some pictures on the frame. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And did anyone else come to live with you in the house on Stablebrook Way after February 24th, 2023?
Well, Brenda's mother was mostly staying with us. And a few months after, we moved his grandmother down from New York to live with us.
And who was supporting you after February 24th, 2023?
Who was supporting me?
Yeah.
Brendan.
When you were first arrested, were you able to speak to the defendant on the phone?
Yes.
And did you send letters to him?
Yes.
And did he send letters to you?
Yes.
Did the two of you continue your relationship?
Yes.
Did you speak to his mother on the phone?
Yes.
And his mother's name is what?
Teresa. We call her Tess.
Did you send letters to her?
Yes.
Did she send letters to you?
Yes.
Did you receive letters and correspondence from anyone else in the defendant's family?
His stepmom and his grandmother.
And did there come a time when the defendant and his family stopped communicating with you?
Yes.
When was that?
Right when I signed my plea deal.
And after you were arrested, were you able to keep in touch with your family in Brazil?
After my arrest, yes.
Okay. And how was that possible?
Through Brenda's mom. She used to help us to communicate through a phone call and should put money on my account so I can tax with my mom in Brazil. My family.
And did that support ever stop?
Yes,
When did that support stop?
when I signed my plea deal.
Judge, I'd ask for the court's indulgence at this time.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, cross-examination.
Let's get into cross.
Or do you want it back on?
All right. Good point to pause. So the judge in this case is the same judge from the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. I thought she looked familiar, and so thank you to the psych nerd, law nerd, whatever. Like, so we call us psych nerds here on my channel. Emily D. Baker calls her channel Law Nerds. But thank you to the person that recognized that and remembered that, because I thought she looked familiar, but I couldn't place it. Yeah. All right, let's keep it going. Cross-examination.
Is that
Well,
sufficient?
it's going to lock the screen.
So you are going to project?
Yeah.
So do you need to connect?
No, I'm going to do it with this one.
So you need to connect?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
If I ask any questions you don't understand, just please ask me to repeat them, okay? I
Mhm.
want to make sure you understand everything that's being said here.
Yes.
Yesterday, there was a great deal of talk about a plan.
Yes.
Do you recall that?
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you, when did this plan, when was it originally formulated?
Can you talk a little bit louder, please? I can't really hear you.
When was it originally formulated?
Originally,
Yes.
say after October, when he first mentioned the plan, that was just, at that point, was just get rid of Christine. And then I can tell you exact the date.
Okay.
But
So sometime in October, the plan was to get rid of Christine.
yes,
At what point did there become clear actions that we're going to be taking?
What do you mean?
Did it ever grow to be something other than that?
Yes,
Okay, when did that happen?
when I created the website, I would say in January.
Okay, and that was January?
Yeah,
Okay, January 9th?
I can tell you the date.
Okay. Okay, well, let's just talk about that. So I think you testified that the creation of a website required an email in Christine's name, correct?
Yes, correct.
Do you remember the email address?
I do not.
Okay. Do you remember, were you there when the email was created?
Yes,
Okay, and what device was it created on?
laptop.
Okay, now, was Christine home at that time?
Yes.
Okay, so describe for me how you and Brendan were able to get Christine's laptop on this day when that email was connected.
Like I mentioned before, every time we would get her laptop, it'll be because she'd get home from work or the day before, her backpack would be by the door with her laptop in it and her work stuff in it. And so it was, I would say, easy access.
Okay, I've heard you say that before, but what I'm asking is, who took the laptop from wherever it was that Christina thought it was?
That day, I do not remember.
Okay. Do you remember after the laptop was obtained, what room that you were in?
What?
What room that you were in?
What room in the house?
Yes.
When the laptop was up?
So
I'm confused.
you
Sorry.
just said you don't remember who grabbed the laptop,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Correct? But you're saying somebody grabbed the laptop. and I
Yes.
assume you're meaning between either my client or you.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, there was a creation of a new email, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And where was that when that happened?
I do not remember.
Okay.
Okay.
So you don't know who took it. You don't remember that. You don't remember where the actual action to get this.
So right now, the defense is going to try to poke holes in her story because they want the jury to think that she's not credible. That is what the defense, of course, wants the jury to think. So, and her story has changed multiple times. The defense is probably going to bring that up because the defense is going to say, like, there have been updates to her testimony as of December of 2025. That's what the defense is going to claim, but we'll see.
This all started, the first part of the plan. You didn't remember that?
No,
Okay. Did you know at the time that you were creating it where Christine Banfield was?
in the bedroom upstairs.
Okay, so you can conclude that you weren't in the bedroom or upstairs, correct?
No,
So you just don't know what area of the house you're in.
correct.
Now, leading up to that, did you and Brendan talk about how you were going to do it, or what type of an account it was going to be, or what kind of name?
If we talked about it,
Yeah.
probably did, but
Okay.
I can tell you details.
I'm sorry, did you say you can't tell any details?
I can't remember details
Okay, you can't
of how the
remember
email
details.
was, the
Okay.
name, or, yeah.
And so, who was the one typing?
Typing what specifically, the email,
Yeah, to open the account.
Brendan?
Okay. Did you at any point type anything in or do anything to assist him with the laptop?
Yeah, eventually,
Well, on this initial day, which was when this all started.
not that I recall.
Okay. So the actual beginning of this action plan, what do you recall about it?
Well, you asked, and I told you things I remember. That's what I remember.
Well, you didn't remember anything though. So what did you actually remember from that day?
Well, I remember that the account was created, the email, and that Christine was upstairs in the bedroom. That's it.
So there was an account created and Christine was in the bedroom,
Yes,
but you don't know where you and Brendan were.
I can tell you for sure.
You don't know who got the laptop, which was the device that was used to create the account.
Correct.
And other than saying, well, she usually leaves her bag by the door, you don't know whether it was obtained from the door, correct?
You can say that.
Well, I'd rather you tell me.
I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. 1.5. Let's see. Let me know if I need to slow it down. Let me see.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we'll do that, but
Pause.
ma'am, you were just speaking with Ms. Bristler about letters,
Yes.
and that was a common way for you to communicate, correct?
Yes.
Is that displayed?
It's
for-
displayed just to the attorneys,
Okay,
to
okay.
myself. If you would like her to see it, I just need an exhibit.
Yes, Your Honor, this is exhibit number 1.
And you want to display to the witness?
Display to the witness, please. Okay. Ma'am, can you see that?
Yes, I can.
And if you can, just let me know when you need me to scroll for you. I can make sure you see the whole thing.
He's going to have
I
her
can see
read
it.
it.
Are you able to read that?
The whole letter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to read the whole letter?
Do you want me to?
I want to make sure that this is your letter. Is this your letter?
Yes,
This
that's
is a
my
letter that you wrote, it looks like on December 8th, 2023.
Yes.
And that would have been about 2 months after you were arrested on this charge.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
And calling your attention to the highlighted portion. Is that fair and accurate?
Did you ask something? I'm sorry, I was reading.
I was asking you to read it. Yes. Have you read it?
Yeah, I read it.
Okay. And the yellow portion there, can you read that, please?
Yes. Well, now that you know, parentheses, I mean, they already knew, close parentheses, that I'm not going to cooperate with them. There's nothing I can do. So I don't know what they are going to use. I mean,
Okay, I'm going to slow this part down a little bit because she's saying that she's not going to cooperate with the police. I'm going to slow it down to 1.25. We'll see how that goes.
everything they have and can. I don't know everything. I just have the feeling they might hold me here until my trial. It can take months, years. There are many theories of what had happened, set up by you, us, or I wasn't supposed to be there, and etc.
Okay. In this letter, which you wrote, it suggests that someone from the Commonwealth had been talking to you about cooperating against Brendan. Is that correct?
No, they never talked directly with me.
Okay. How would they communicate that to you?
My lawyer,
Your Honor, that assumes that, not that are not in evidence.
Overruled.
How would they communicate that to you?
through my lawyer.
Okay. And so this is 2 months after you were arrested.
Mhm.
And were you given an opportunity to plead guilty and cooperate at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And what was it that they were offering you at that time?
At that point, my lawyer had said that they were offering, in exchange for my cooperation, they would offer me a misdemeanor and I would be released on
Okay.
time served.
Okay. And I guess, as I understand it, your lawyer communicated that to you, and then you made the decision as to that?
Yeah,
And what was your decision?
To not.
but I didn't want it.
Okay. So you rejected the misdemeanor offer
Yes,
based on what you knew?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Judge, may we publish this to the jury?
If you're gonna, are you entering into evidence?
Actually, I'm sorry, I'll hold off.
Okay.
Um, Ma'am, can you see the letter on your screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's going to be marked as Defense Exhibit 2. This is a 4-page letter, so I'll scroll through it if you need to identify it.
It's probably her letter.
Okay, I just want to make sure you have full understanding of what it is. This would be page 2 of 3.
Mhm. I see it.
Okay. And this is page 3 of 3.
I can see it.
And that's your signature down at the bottom? Or
Yes.
your name?
Okay.
Can you read that, please?
Yes. I said, it's killing me, and I mean it. And then another paragraph. It breaks my heart to think that I may not be able to be with you guys soon. It hurts me extremely thinking that I may not be there for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, friend's birthday, and all those special dates with the situation.
Okay. And do you recall, was this, so this would have been sooner than the one that I showed you before, because it was November. Do you recall whether the offer of a misdemeanor had been extended prior to you writing this?
I can recall.
Okay. So you don't know whether it was before writing this or after writing this?
I can't say for sure.
Okay. Ma'am, I put on the screen what will be marked as Defense Exhibit number 3. Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
And this appears to be, well, you tell me. I don't want to suggest anything to you. What's the date at the top of the letter?
14/11/2023.
So November 14th, 2023?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if these letters are helping the defense or hurting them. Like, I'm hearing the letter, but I don't know. Like it, but we'll see where he goes with this. We'll see.
And did you get a chance to read that first page?
I can see it on the screen.
Okay. And I just want to make sure you have a chance to read them. I'm not trying to rush you through.
Oh,
this.
do you want me to read them?
Well, I want you to make sure that you know it's your letters.
Yes,
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
When you're ready to know that that's your letter, then I'm happy with that.
she knows.
It is my letter.
Okay. Let me call your attention to highlighted portion. And this is after you've already signed off from your signature,
I
correct?
agree.
Correct.
Okay. And if you can just read that aloud, please.
Yes, I said, I can bear living this without you. It's too much pain that I don't want to live like this. I can't. I just don't want to feel this way anymore. It's a torture. I love you more than anything.
Okay. And can you describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what is the feeling that you're talking about and what is the torture that you're describing?
Being in this situation,
Okay.
what I was going through mentally.
Can you articulate what that situation was on November 14th, 2023 that was causing you torture?
It's being away from my family. It's being in a situation I've been
In jail?
in for the past 2 years.
Well, we're talking about then, what you were feeling then, which would have been November 14th, 2023.
I guess the fact of being away from him.
Okay. And so at that point, you'd been away from the Banfield house for a little over a month, is that right?
Yes,
Okay. And so is the torture that you're away from him or the torture that you're in jail?
I would say both.
Okay. Well, I'm not trying to suggest to you what you should say. I want
I
to
would
hear
say
from
both.
you. What are you describing?
Well, I think I've always been both.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
It was always both.
Okay. So when you're being asked to recall, and I'm giving you a date, what I'm anticipating is that you can say what it is that you were feeling that caused you to write a letter like that. Can you remember what you were feeling that caused you to write that letter?
I wish I could talk with it. So feelings are complex. And I think there was probably more than one thing, probably more than one feeling that was having her feel that way. I don't know that that's a great question, but he's trying to get at something specific. I think he's trying to get that because maybe Brendan thinks that she was in pain about not being able to see him and being away from him. But part of her pain was likely being in jail. It was probably, yeah. I found that question incredibly silly. So I commented on this during my coverage of her direct examination because she just talked through horrific details. She did seem to me to show a little bit of emotion when she talked about Brendan getting all the content warnings, Brendan getting on top of Christine and then using the knife. I did see a little bit of emotion. There seemed to be some sadness. It's because the prosecution had her talk about Christine was nice to her. There were no major issues. It wasn't like Christine was mean to her or anything like this. And so she seemed to show a little bit of emotion to me. The rest of this, her affect has been pretty flat. I don't know how she communicates in everyday life. And in court, you're often told to not be emotional. So in court, you often do just want to present the information in a factual way, because if a witness gets too emotional, it can sometimes go to their credibility. And it can sometimes impact how the jury is hearing everything. And so often lawyers I'm not a lawyer, I'm a psychologist, but I have prepared people to testify in court. And it's not that I've asked them to come across flat. It's just that I've asked, they can't be overly emotional. So sometimes they have to suppress any emotion that they do have. Um, I don't like, she really didn't show that much emotion talking about anything. Could it be medication? So we aren't aware if she's on any medications. There are medications, SSRIs in particular, those serotonin reuptake inhibitors, the Zoloft, Prozac, Wellbutrin. There are medications that can suppress emotional expression. I don't know. So, all right, but that is a possibility. All right. Oh, yeah, and somebody mentioned maybe seeing some emotion when she talked about the child too. Okay. Yeah. All right, we are going to keep going with this silly question.
Letter?
No, I normally write letters when I was sad, upset.
Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, do you see a new letter up there on the screen in front of you?
I do.
They're going to go
And
through
I think it was
identifying it.
November.
Brendan's mother.
I'm going to go back.
It's Brenda's mother.
Okay. And so this is a letter to Brendan's mother, like the second one that I showed you.
Yes.
Okay. And can you just look at this and tell me whether you know that to be your letter that you wrote?
Probably
or,
is.
Or not?
It is the letter that I wrote.
It's the letter you wrote? Okay,
Mhm.
good. And if you could, I'm going to scroll down and make sure I catch all the highlighted portions. So let me start with the first page there. Can you read the highlighted portion there?
Yes. Said, what if they don't let me go home for now or so long? What am I supposed to do? I said it before, how disturbing my thoughts have been recently. I'd rather to die than live like this, live with this pain. It's too painful for me.
Okay. And that's obviously very serious language for you to write. What were you experiencing that caused you to write that particular portion of the letter?
Depression.
Okay.
And I just didn't want to live anymore.
Okay. Now, in terms of the procedural posture of your case, had you had a bond motion at that point?
I don't remember exactly the times I've had bone motion, but I did have a few.
So you were arrested, was it October 8th?
October 2023, yes.
Do you remember the day?
October 13th.
The 13th, sorry.
Mhm.
And I imagine soon thereafter you had a bond motion, correct?
Yes,
And you were denied that bond motion?
yes,
And did there come a time where you had a bond motion in the circuit court?
yes.
And when would that have been in relation to November 15th, 2023?
Say it again.
November 15th, 2023?
What about it? I didn't hear it.
When would the circuit court appeal of the bond motion have occurred in relation to November 15th, 2023?
When?
Do you know?
I can't recall.
Okay. And so you don't know whether having the circuit court deny your bond motion was the cause of what you're talking about in your pain. And
I can't say for sure, no.
Okay. It was what you
It might have been.
said before, being here and being in the situation that you're in.
Mhm.
Okay. And let's look at and there's a further highlighted portion down the letter.
I'm going to speed this up again. This is painful. The defense is doing their job. Do you know what I mean? Like, they are representing their client. It's just moving at a slow pace for me personally.
Can you read that?
Yes. The first one says, I will always remember you, moments and memories we made in New York City.
Okay. And this was when you were with Tess up there, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to move. And finally, this highlighted portion.
I said,
Oh. So if y'all heard that, I guess she also went to New York with Brendan's mom, Tess, as well. So, because that letter, I guess, was to Brendan's mom. Okay.
I am in a terrible and deep pain. I wish I could take it away. I cannot stand with it. I can't do this. It would be too much pain. I'm firm.
Okay. Those are serious words. Did you seek any sort of help, or were these letters kind of you reaching out for that help?
I also started taking medication for depression and anxiety in the jail. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And when did that start?
I can say for sure.
Okay. Was it? Let's just take a.
Okay. So this answers our question. Okay. So she has been prescribed medication for depression and anxiety. What they normally start with is an SSRI. Like, that is what's most common, that you'll be started on something like Zoloft, Prozac, what are some, Lamotrigine. I think there are some other ones that, and remember, I'm not a medical doctor, just a psychologist that knows about psychopharmacology. So she is likely still on some type of medication. Jail is depressing. So that is a situation that will make anyone, and then her situation, coming to terms with what she did, her role and everything. And so the medication might be impacting her emotional expression. And the fact that the defense drew this out, because if anyone on the jury knows what it's like to be on one of those medications, they know that sometimes it does blunt, or like sometimes it does impact how people express emotions. And so, okay, thanks, defense.
Notable event in every year. Was it before New Year's Day, or was it after New Year's Day?
I can't say it.
Okay. And so, Judge, if I didn't say, I would mark this as defense exhibit number 4.
It's number 4.
Okay.
yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure. So for what's been identified as defense exhibit number 4, you're not certain what the source of the pain is that you're referencing in this letter.
Specifically, no.
Okay, but and this is my words, not yours. You tell me if I'm wrong. It appears to be getting worse.
It appears to be what?
As the letters go in chronology, they appear to be getting worse in terms of what you're saying about the torture and the pain and things like that.
Yes,
Okay, is that fair to say?
it is.
Okay. You're all right. The letter before you, I'd identify as defense exhibit number 5.
Okay.
Ma'am, do you see that letter?
I do.
And this appears to be dated November 16, 2023, correct?
Correct.
And let me just bring you down, and would that be a letter that you've written?
Yes.
Okay, let me just bring you down to the highlighted portions. This would be a day after the letter that was received that we just talked about, exhibit number 4. Can you read the highlighted portions, please?
Yes. The first one says, "I cannot bear living without you." And the second highlighted is, "I'm trying to be as strong as I can be."
Okay, and let me just, I'll scroll down for you, so if there's any further. That's the end, okay. And ma'am, is there anything different about what you're talking about here? It's not talking necessarily about pain.
Okay. The defendant takes a lot of notes, and he kind of comes across a little menacing to me. And somebody else mentioned that in the comments on my last video as well. Like he just has this vibe. And once again, there is no, as Kathy would call it, there is no murdery face. Like that doesn't exist. How a person looks does not necessarily correlate with how they behave. But I wonder if any of that if the jury is watching his behavior. I always hope a juror gives even just an interview to the paper media or something. They don't have to. So I totally get you've served your jury time and you just want to go back to your life. But if any jurors did give feedback, I would love to hear how his behavior in court, if that had any impact on how they saw and heard the evidence presented. All right, we'll keep it going.
But it's talking about living without, living in the jail without.
Living in what?
You say, I cannot bear living here without you,
Oh, yes.
okay? And was that based on what you were experiencing in the previous letters?
Yes.
Okay, the same thing, or was there something new about this particular letter?
Well, for me, it's the same thing. I guess I just get confused. I guess messed up with words, how to describe them.
Okay, so it appears that up to this point, and I'm going to try to keep this moving along, everything appears to be kind of going back to the same thing that you've already testified to. So I'm going to show you letters. If something changes as to why you wrote certain things, can you tell me that? I'll ask you the question, but I just want to keep moving along.
Yes.
Okay. And can you read that, which will be marked as defense exhibit number 6? Sorry, were you able to read that?
Yes.
Okay, and was that a letter that you had written?
Yes.
And who was that addressed to?
Brendan.
Okay, and can you read the highlighted portion for me?
Yes. It says, "During the day, I just feel like crying, sad, depressed, racing thoughts, heart pounding, and I can't sleep. And this is exhausted, physically and emotionally. I feel drained, no strength anymore, no courage, no hope. It feels like a personal hell in life. Painful, torture, disturbing, and I don't want to live or to feel this. Better take my life in trade of the pain." And the next it says, "It's killing me."
Okay, it sounds like this is getting worse in terms of things you're saying. Is that the way it sounds to you?
Sounds like it, yes.
Okay. How were you? What were you feeling to make you write a letter like this?
I think the mixed feelings. Like I said again, it was a lot to hold in.
Okay, and was there anything greater or lesser than what you had said about the previous letters?
Well, for me, it sounds basically the same. Where I said I just don't want to live to feel this.
Okay, well, it's not necessarily to interpret the letter that you see now. It's actually what was the feeling that you had when you were writing the letter is what I'm asking.
I don't know.
Well, clearly not good. Not.
Okay.
No good.
And do you remember whether this was before or after you were offered the opportunity for a misdemeanor and to try testify against my client?
Well, in terms of the date, I can tell.
Okay. Thank you. Ma'am, can you see the letter that's on the screen?
Yes, I can.
And if you'd like to read it, and just tell me if that's a letter that you wrote.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Exhibit 7? Is that correct?
I believe, yes, it's 7, Judge. This will be identified as Defense Exhibit 7, but if you could just please read the highlighted portions.
Yes. It says, I don't want to live this. I don't want to keep living, keep going. And the other highlight says, I just want this to be over in one way or another, good or bad way.
Okay. And this would have been probably, let me see, would have been 3 days after Exhibit 6. Is this more serious, or is it the same as what you were talking about?
It sounds the same to me.
Okay. Did there come a time when you sought help within the jail?
Yes.
Okay, and that's where you get the medication from?
Yes.
And would it be fair to say that these kind of statements weren't in your letters at some point after you'd done the medication?
These letters what? I'm sorry.
So I'm just trying to understand. You sought help, they provided you medication.
Yes.
And is the medication specifically related to the pain and the torture that you're talking about in these letters?
It was related to all those feelings, the feelings I was carrying with me.
Okay. And did that feeling that you've just described through mid to late November in the last few letters, did that continue on after you took that medication, or did it get better?
It made it better in a way, I guess, that I felt numb.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to put up a poll. Y'all let me know if this is helping the defense or hurting the defense. Because right now they're focusing on her letters after her arrest, but they're trying to explain why her story changed and why she's now blaming the defendant. Like that's what they're trying to get to. But to me, they're helping explain why she presents the way that she does, why we see that emotional numbing. Okay, like that's okay, but we'll put up a poll and we'll see what you all see.
Thank you. Let's move on to what would be marked as Defense Exhibit number 8, I believe, Judge.
All right, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Can you read that, ma'am, just to tell me if that is your letter?
It is my letter.
It is?
Yes.
Okay, and let me just scroll up so you can look at the highlighted portions. It looks like there's just one line highlighted there. What does that say?
It says, I'm not willing to spend life in prison for something I didn't do.
Okay. Now, was it your understanding at the time that you had the possibility of life in prison?
At the time, yes.
Okay. Based upon the charge that you were charged with?
Yes.
Okay. And who told you that?
My lawyer.
Okay. And let's just talk about that particular area of the letter. Do you remember? So you're talking about something that you didn't do. You're talking about this case?
Yes.
Okay. And so at that point, you were in jail and you wrote, I didn't do this.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Ma'am, let's look at the next letter here. If you can tell me if that's a letter you wrote, then we can go right to the highlighted sections, but I don't want to rush you.
It's Exhibit 9, correct?
Exhibit 9, sorry, Judge.
It is a letter I wrote, yeah.
Okay. And can you read the highlighted portion? I think it looks as though there's 2 on the first page. This was dated December 4th, 2023. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what's written on the top. If you could please read the highlighted portion.
Yes, it says, well, they arrested me for the obvious reason, right? But they want me to cooperate against you because according to them, I know more than it's being said. And they say they know more than I think they know.
She did.
Okay. And then the lower portion?
It says the only way this, I'm not sure what it said either, but the only way this case is not going to trial if they drop the charge, and we know they won't.
Okay. And that's, do you recall whether or not you've said this statement, the first one, whether you had met with the police or the prosecutors at this point on December 4th?
No, I have not met with
Okay,
them.
so this information comes from when you and your lawyer were talking?
Yes,
Okay, and then you wrote a letter to Brendan about that?
yes.
Okay, what was the intention of that?
The letter?
Yeah.
To let him know what it was. I think I always let Brendan and his mom know that the Commonwealth was offering me something in exchange of my cooperation, and I always let them know.
Okay, and this just supports that you weren't going to do anything with cooperation,
Yes,
and in the last letter you said because you didn't do anything?
right.
Okay. I'm sorry, I think I may have hit the same one. Was that number 8, Judge?
That was number 9.
Number 9,
That
okay.
is the same one. I'm just
Okay, sorry. Man, can you take a look at this letter and read it, make sure that it's something that you offered, and then we'll look at the highlighted portion.
Is this exhibit 10?
This would be 10, yes, thanks, Judge.
Yes.
Okay, you ready to move down to that?
Yes.
Okay, can you see it? Can you read that read that highlighted
The
portion?
highlight, yes. It says, do you know why we, parentheses, me, Dina, and many other people, close parentheses, think about suicide? It's when you're facing too much pain, living too much pain, the pain you cannot bear, the pain you want to be able to change or to make any better. I'll tell you this, what I can't bear, I like sitting in prison and causing pain to all of you and my family in Brazil. And I, without you guys, Brendan, Valerie, I like where my dreams can't come true.
Okay, let me just check and see if there's any further highlighted.
Do you mind if I move the microphone
Yes,
so she won't have to track it?
All right,
Yeah.
you can do that. That'd be fine.
If you move it over here.
Okay, sorry.
She has to be close to it.
That way you can lean in and read.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, Your Honor.
Thanks, bailiff. That's much better.
Man, can you see this letter?
Yes,
And this would be marked as Commonwealth's, I'm sorry, Judge, I'd have it. Defendant's Exhibit Number 11.
Yes.
Is this a letter you wrote?
yes,
Please read the highlighted portion.
yes. It says, they want me to cooperate against you, your son. Since the beginning, they've told us they could make, they've told us they could make from my charge something very simple called misdemeanor. And I wouldn't be charged with this if I decided to cooperate with them. They know I'm not doing that. I don't have anything to cooperate with them, with what they say that happened. I know it didn't make them happy. So they will do anything to hold me here, anything for them to, and they've got it so far right. I have no idea what they are making up, faking stuff, lies, etc.
Okay, and there's another portion down below.
And I said, I would give my life for his, and I would never do anything to hurt him or against him. Whatever they're saying, whatever they want to believe, I don't care. I would take the blame for both of us.
All right. So I get why the defense is bringing up these letters. That letter in particular, she's saying that he was innocent and she would take the blame for both of them. But I think this letter is being written to his mother. But so we don't, I don't know that they said who the letter was to. And his mother is paying for her defense. And so I don't know, because the state is probably going to redirect. I don't know for sure. I'm watching this with you all right now. The state may come back to ask, why did you say that? Like what changed? Or the state may elicit some of that testimony, but we'll see. We'll see.
And this is a letter to Mrs. Banfield, correct?
To his mother,
His mother, Tess.
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, if you could look at the screen, do you see a new letter there?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Can you read that to determine if that is your handwritten letter?
It is.
And can you look at the highlight portion? This would be Exhibit 12.
Thank you.
Think or whatever.
Sorry, I'll go back.
It says, I would do anything for you. If they want me to turn against you, if they think or whatever they believe, and if they want to blame me for that, that's okay. I can take the blame. I'll never do anything to hurt you or against you.
But once again, is she saying this because they're paying for phone calls, they're staying in contact with her family in Brazil that she can't contact? I don't. So we'll see. We'll keep it going. Mm.
Now, just to kind of break away from that for a second, the letter's date is January 3rd, 2024, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and in 2024, you had been charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of use of firearm in the commission of a felony, correct?
Correct.
And that's what we saw in the plea agreements that they just showed you that had been dropped, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but you were charged with a warrant of arrest, so you had a preliminary hearing at some point, correct?
Correct.
And when did that preliminary hearing, what month of the year was it in 2024?
If I remember right, it was around March. If
Okay.
I remember right.
If I told you it was April, would that sound right?
In my mind, I have March, but
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. So you knew there was something coming ahead, which was important for you,
yes,
correct? And so, and is it fair to say in your communications with your lawyer and you're learning about this case, you were receiving discovery from the Commonwealth?
yes,
Okay, and so when your lawyer would get discovery, he would provide discovery to you, is that right?
it is.
Okay, and kind of moving forward toward what ultimately would have been your trial date in 2024, November 12th, you had received all discovery from the Commonwealth prior to September 30th, is that right?
I guess so.
Okay, and so that was discovery that you and your lawyer, and in fact, the case was continued one time because there was more discovery that was being held back and your lawyer had to review it in order to get ready for the next trial, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and is it fair to say it's a pretty large amount of discovery?
Yes,
Okay, lots of videos, lots of reports, lots of other things, correct?
correct.
And you got a chance to fully understand all of that prior to what was going to be your second trial date.
Well, from my understanding, yeah,
Okay, but you had full discovery is what I'm trying to say.
yes,
Okay. Would you agree with me that everything that you testified to yesterday was provided to you in discovery?
I'm not sure if I'm following your question.
Wow. So the defense is not saying that the evidence is factual and true. They're saying that she created a story that fit the state's evidence against her. Wow. That's okay.
You had a series of facts that you were pointing out to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and this was within weeks of your trial that was scheduled, correct? So you had all the information, and is that what the basis for what you testified to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury was yesterday?
Ambiguous is your objection? Overruled.
Do you understand my question?
Nope.
Okay, let me repeat it. So what I'm saying is, and what you've said to me is that you received all the discovery for the case. That would be what the Commonwealth's required to give you before you go to trial. And what I'm asking you is the basis for your testimony yesterday was provided in discovery prior to you testifying here today, correct?
Well, are you suggesting that my testimony is based on the discovery and not the facts that happened? I'm not sure. I'm confused still. Sorry.
Well, just tell us what role did the discovery play in the decision to speak yesterday and what you said?
The truth?
I appreciate that. Was that the truth that was provided by the discovery so you could work for the Commonwealth?
No, the truth was that will happen. I can't make.
So the defense's theory is that the state created a narrative that fit the evidence that I don't know. Like this is but so the defense is saying like there's something wrong with the investigation? I don't like who okay. Okay.
My words fit into the evidence.
Okay. Well, I guess what I'm saying is you can make their evidence fit into your words, however.
I don't know what you're suggesting. I'm utterly confused. I'm sorry.
Okay. So let's just go back to our letters here, and we'll get back to that.
That's exhibit 12.
I think the evidence is the evidence. Christine did not want what happened to her. Christine's phone was intentionally not close to her so that she could call for help. There was a 911 call and a hang up, and then a later 911
And
call.
is this a letter you wrote to my client, Brendan Banfield?
Yes,
Okay, and can you look at the highlighted portions and please read that off for the jury?
Is that
Yes.
exhibit 13?
I'm sorry, 13.
Okay, thank you.
it says, excuse me, it says, oh,
Sorry, I'm just trying to get it centered for you.
it says, nobody is more afraid and sad, upset than me. I'm the one facing life in prison. Even though we are confident and positive that we have a strong case, we don't know what's going to happen. I can be fucked up forever. We'll be up to 12 people to decide.
Was this before or after your preliminary hearing?
Like I said, I do not know the date.
Oh, sorry, let me show you.
I do not remember the date of my preliminary hearing, so I can tell for sure whether or not it's after that.
Okay, but your letters seem to be changed in tone. You're talking more about the case at that point. Would that be a reason why you, either the preliminary hearing had come or it was gone?
I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you. You can look at what will be marked as Defense Exhibit 14.
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to find the highlighted portion real quick, ma'am, before we go through this. Okay. Oops. I don't think we want that there. Ma'am, I'm going to let you go from the top. Is this a letter that you wrote to my client, Brendan Banfield?
Yes,
Okay, and I'm just going to go down to the highlighted portions. Can you read that?
yes, it
Okay, please
says,
read that for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
it says, I really just hope I have the chance to be with them again, back home. I really do. I can't stand the thought of not being with them anymore for my own mistake.
Okay, and the lower portion?
It says, I would never forgive myself if I couldn't see them after all this.
Okay, now this is April 14th, 2024, and your letter is speaking about the family in Brazil, correct?
Correct.
Okay, this isn't the family that you had been writing and talking about in the first set of letters.
No,
Okay. Is that showing up on your screen, Judge?
Your files, yes.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Let's fast forward a little.
Ma'am, is this a letter you wrote to my client, Brendan Banfield?
yes,
Okay, and can you see the highlighted portion?
This would be 15 for the record?
15, yes, thank you.
Okay.
yes, I can.
Can you read that, please, for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
It says, sometimes I just think to myself, like, I can't believe I'm facing life in prison for someone. Then things weren't supposed to be this way, right? But people are stupid, including me, and make mistakes, act without thinking. That's all I did.
Okay, and I believe that's it. Ma'am, can you see the new letter that's on the screen right now?
Yes, I can.
Looks like it's July 24th, 2024,
Correct.
and it appears it's a letter from you to my client.
Yes,
Okay, and,
Exhibit 16?
sorry, exhibit number 16.
Okay.
And can you read off the highlighted portion?
yes. The first one says, I wanted to make sure you get this letter through Ryan.
Okay, and what about the remaining highlighted portion?
It says, I feel if we were able to get a guilty plea for me, that would be pleaded guilty for voluntary manslaughter plus time served, plus not testify against you, plus deportation. Well, that actually sounds good if he gets it from a case instead of facing a murder charge, plus sentence.
Okay, and so, and I'll just get this other portion down.
Gonna fast forward.
Because since the beginning, what they tried to get from me was for me to testify against you. So maybe they would give us that under the condition, if I turn against you, a lot of people end up turning against the other person. They either broke down after a few months in jail or they got a good deal for their sakes.
Okay. And I'm just going to make sure that there isn't anything else. With Brendan, correct?
I'll go back.
2024 is a different sort of communication with Brendan, correct?
Correct.
Compared to, you know, the torture and the pain and then the stress of a trial and all that sort of thing. You're talking about a resolution at this point.
Yes.
And who suggested that to you?
Suggested what?
The resolution that's described in this?
That's something I was thinking.
Okay, so you came up with the idea?
Yeah, they never offered me another plea where I didn't testify against Brendan.
Okay.
That was my mind.
They offered you a trial unless you testified against Brendan.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. And you didn't feel very good about going to trial, correct?
My lawyers never expressed any concerns relating going to trial. They were very confident.
Okay. How did you feel?
I feel as any other person would feel going to trial, being in a situation like mine. I don't think people feel very happy about it.
Okay. So your answer to my question is that you weren't happy about it?
Nobody is. If you're in a
Okay,
situation,
I'm just asking you to answer my question, not to
all right,
say it in
no.
that manner. So you didn't feel confident in the evidence that was going to be presented on your behalf?
I just didn't feel confident, yeah.
Okay. I think that we left out the lower portion
Okay.
of this letter. Did you read that?
I already read that one.
Did you already read it? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm going to move on to. Ma'am, can you see, this is from the jail's mail called Smart Jail Mail.
Yes,
Can you see that?
yes, again,
And there's a highlighted portion in English, but the original was in Portuguese.
correct.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this exhibit 17?
This is 17, Judge, sorry. Now, please read for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury the highlighted portion.
It says, anyway, yesterday my lawyer tried to call me, but I don't know what happened. We couldn't talk. The call was not working. He had to
I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. That one went a little fast. I'm gonna slow it down. Let's do normal. I'm gonna rewind just a little bit. Hopefully, okay. Let's start from here.
told Mimi that he was going to try and schedule the trial for the first week of October. However, at the hearing, he didn't mention anything about October. The option he gave was November, December, and January. I was so pissed. I started to yell and cry. I hate this. He said he was going to try October, and for no reason he offered January. Fuck him. Screw him. He said he would come see me today at 12:30. Let's see, because he says he'll do so much and he doesn't do shit. I don't even know why I'm paying a lawyer who doesn't do his job in a timely manner. And the other portion of the highlighted says, anyway, I'm just disappointed at my lawyer, who should be doing a better job and holding to his word. They scheduled the trial for November 12th. They say it's 2 weeks of trial.
Okay. One question about that. Under the first highlighted portion, you said, I don't even know why I'm paying a lawyer. Did you pay the lawyer?
No, I did not.
Okay, someone else paid for you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And does this fairly and accurately depict your communications with your mother?
The what? I'm sorry.
Does it fairly and accurately depict your communications with your mother?
I can hear you well.
Is this a fair and accurate transcript of your statement to your mother?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. And ma'am, that's July 1st, 2024, correct?
correct.
Can you see this new message marked as Defense Exhibit 18?
I see it.
Can you read that, please?
Yes, it says, my lawyer came to see me he said he's scheduled for November because my female lawyer was unavailable in October, and he can do it without her. Anyway, this made me even more pissed. But what can I do? I can't do anything. It's too late. I didn't really want to talk too much to him today. I'm so pissed off.
And this is on the same day that you sent the previous message to your mother, correct?
Correct.
Now, let's just talk about the messaging. When you're talking about with Ms. Bristler, the money, or how you communicate, this is what the money is for in order to communicate with your mother, correct?
Correct.
And so the money that was being provided to you by my client before he was arrested and his mother before you turned state's evidence, I guess, that was money was being used for this in order for you to be able to communicate with your family, correct?
Correct.
And also to communicate with them, correct?
Correct.
And in fact, you communicated with whomever you wanted, friends, former boyfriends, all those sorts of things, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And in addition to the money for this, the money that was being given to you was also to buy edible food in the jail.
Correct.
And is it fair to say that the food otherwise you didn't like?
It's just not enough.
Okay. And so you would ask Tess or Brendan for money and they would put it in there so you could get more meals.
Yes.
Okay. But these messages are also part of that as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
And here's a message to your friend Paola, correct?
Yes. Correct.
Okay, and is that a message that you wrote?
Yes.
Can you please read that to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
It says something you can't really read, and then says with my lawyer, due that he changed my trial date for it to start on November 12th. We had a hearing on Monday to get it scheduled. Anyway, I'm very frustrated and upset, satisfied with my lawyer. And thinking back now, I think he already knew all along that it didn't happen in July, that in April, they agreed for the trial to be in July. So just to have a date, but my lawyer already knew he wouldn't be ready. I think that's what upsets me, that he has been super slow lately. The specialist we need to testify, he hadn't even hired yet. Anyway, my female lawyer who works with him is not available in October. That is why it'll be November. I had asked him to try to go for at least the first week of October. But I think all this time he already knew it. It's unfair because everyone was anxious with expectations. We were so close, and he took the hope away from me. No matter how much he promises to take me home and knowing that I am innocent, it doesn't change the fact that I feel neglected. I really wanted to risk everything and do it in July, even if he isn't ready. I only signed papers for this, but there's no such contract. If there was, I would.
Okay, and so this is after the continuance of the first trial date, correct?
Correct.
And the scheduling of the second trial date.
Yes.
And that was the one that was the trial date that you were going to trial until you decided to accept the Commonwealth's deal.
Correct.
Okay. This is from July 8th, also to Paola. Can you please read that highlighted version?
That's exhibit 20 now, right?
I'm sorry, 20, yes.
It says, yeah, I'm really disappointed in my lawyer because I expected the prosecutor to try and delay it as much as possible, to make fun of us. But this time it wasn't. It was my lawyer's screw up. And no matter how much he wanted to postpone, it didn't have to be almost 5 months, right? That's too much. He's being paid too, and he's very expensive. He has a lawyer working with him. He says that we need a specialist, blah, blah, blah. But all this time, and he hasn't done anything. I told him that Brendan's mother could help him find the right person by making calls, checking who is available or not on the date of my trial. I said that we could pay someone else to help him prepare if he needed it. I don't know what else to say to him. Anyway, I'm sure he knew it all along, and that's what stressed me out because he made everyone anxious and hopeful for nothing. I prefer that he tells me the truth all the time.
You see this letter from July 15th on Smart Jail Mail, which would be marked as Defense Exhibit 21.
Yes, sir.
Can you read the highlighted portions for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Yes, it says, "This week my lawyer is on vacation at the beach with his family and all." Then he says, "I'm sorry, you can't enjoy the beach this year." The other portion of the highlight, it says, "Brandon's mom and I are pushing him to do what needs to be done. But the truth is that I myself was never satisfied with his work. He could have done a lot of things differently, faster, putting more pressure on the prosecutor and everything, not to mention that his communication with me is terrible." And the other part of the highlight says, "But that's it, I don't have any news. After all, my lawyer is enjoying it. After all, my lawyer is enjoying his vacation."
Ma'am, can you see the message from July 17th, 2024, and the highlighted portion, which would be marked as Defense Exhibit number 22? Is that a message you wrote?
Yes,
Okay, and that was to is it to your mother?
yes.
Okay, can you read that highlighted portion?
It says, "And about your lawyer friend, he's right. But I can't force my lawyer if he says he's not ready, right? And he's there chilling at the beach with the family, enjoying his vacation, right?"
And so that the substance of that message is you're essentially asking your mother about whether that's right to continue a case because you need to obtain experts or you need more time in order to prepare. And the lawyer's saying that that you're right, or saying that the lawyer's right, but that you can't force them, right?
Yeah, that's what I said, yes.
Okay, that still doesn't help. That doesn't affect how angry you are, but that's an explanation your mother was giving, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You see the new message, July 20th, 2024?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and can you read the highlighted portion?
That's Exhibit 23, correct?
Sorry, Exhibit 23.
It says, "My lawyer returns from vacation tomorrow. Then he'll come see me during the week. We'll see."
See the Smart Jail Mail communication, July 25th, 2024?
Yes,
Is that your communication?
it is.
And can you read the
Before we get to the next one, I want to address a comment about her likability. And I think the state might be calling her early to set the foundation for some of the evidence that the jury is going to hear later. It's my understanding that they've set aside 4 weeks for this trial, and this is day 2. So this is only day 2. They brought her on. She might have been the 4th or 5th witness. I forget exactly how many. I know there was some medical testimony that took up some time in court yesterday, but she's the maybe 4th, I don't know, but she's early in the trial. And the state has said, don't rely only on her. Like, we have evidence that backs what she is going to testify to. And so we'll see. We'll see what the jury does with it. But this might be why the state called her early to go on ahead and let the jury hear this part. But then they're going to have their evidence, their experts, and everything that come after. The defense is also going to put on their case, and they may have their experts that have different ideas on some of the things. And so we'll see where this goes. But I do think that might be part of the reason why they called her early. All right, let's go.
highlighted portion?
It says, "Waiting for my lawyer to come see me tomorrow."
And I'm sorry, that's Exhibit 24. Sorry, I interrupted you. I want to
Go
make sure I
ahead,
got
that's
that.
fine.
Ma'am, go ahead and read that.
It says, "Waiting for my lawyer to come see me tomorrow. I'll tell you more, okay?"
And so it's fair to say that getting to see your lawyer is pretty important at that point after July, or at the end of July. Is that right?
For me, it's always been, doesn't matter when.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is a message that you wrote from July 25th, 2024. There's a highlighted portion at the bottom, and that would be Exhibit number 25. Go ahead and read that. Can you go ahead and read that?
It says, "If my lawyer hadn't changed my trial date, you'd be starting next week, right? But anyway, my lawyer is coming to see me tomorrow."
Ma'am, I'm going to have you look at what is going to be marked as defense exhibit number 26. Can you read that highlight portion?
Yes, he says, and my lawyer didn't even come to me at all. He said something happened in his bathroom, that the plumber was at his house and he wouldn't be able to come today, but it'll come on Sunday. I doubt it. But anyway, it's an excuse, one thing after the other.
Okay. Ma'am, can you see your communication with your mother dated 7/27/2024? It would be
Yes.
defense exhibit 27. Can you read the highlighted portion?
He says, but that's it. Let's see if my lawyer comes to see me tomorrow.
Mr. Carroll, do you have many more letters?
Do I have any more?
Many more.
Sorry, Judge.
I'm going to take that as a yes, so.
I have
Ladies-
about, oh, sorry.
That's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our 15-minute recess, morning recess. All right.
We are gonna zoom right past all that. All right, they bring her back in. And then they're gonna bring in the jury. And then they'll resume cross-examination.
Mr. Carroll, you can continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, may I have Madam Clerk redirect?
Redirect to your laptop?
Yes,
Okay.
well, we took it down because.
Okay, that's fine. There you go.
I'll get to fast forward past that too.
Smart mail message from July 27th,
Yes,
and did you write that message?
That would be you.
I didn't touch anything.
Technology.
I
Exhibit
think it
20
fell asleep.
Exhibit 28?
This is exhibit 28.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, can you take a look at that?
yes,
You wrote this?
I did.
Can you read the highlighted portion?
It says, tomorrow when my lawyer comes to see me, I'll send you a message.
This would be Defendant's Exhibit 29. Ma'am, do you see the smart jail mail writing on your screen?
I do.
And do you recognize that?
Yes,
Is that something you wrote?
yes.
Can you read the highlighted portion?
It says, my lawyer came to see me. Didn't bring anything I had asked him to bring. Said he came to check on how I'm doing. I was like, darling, how do you think I'm doing? All the same.
Ma'am, do you see the new smart jail mail on the screen?
I do.
Did you write that?
Yes,
Judge, we'd be introducing this as, or I'm sorry, identifying it as Defense Exhibit number 30.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, can you read the highlighted portion?
it says, the situation here is the same. My lawyer is calm and positive. He just postponed the trial to be ready for real. But my hearing is in November. It starts on the 12th. I think it will last about 10 days. Tiring, but it's okay.
Okay. And this is to a friend of yours?
That's my brother.
Okay, your brother. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. Ma'am, do you see the new smart jail mail communication that's on your screen?
Yes,
And this would be identified as Defense Exhibit 31. Is this a jail mail that you sent?
yes.
Can you please read the highlighted portion?
It says, tomorrow I'll message you more. And if my lawyer comes to see me, I'll let you know.
Ma'am, do you see the smart jail mail communication on your screen?
Yes,
And this would be identified as Defense Exhibit number 32. Can you read the highlighted portion?
it says, when my lawyer comes, I'll let you know how he was.
Ma'am, can you see the smart jail mail communication on your screen?
Yes,
Can you see the highlighted portion?
yes,
Is this something that you wrote?
yes.
Judge, we'd identify this as Defense Exhibit number 34?
33.
33, sorry. Please read that for the jury.
It says, waiting for my lawyer. He was already supposed to be here, but the appointment he had in another city this morning got moved to 1 p.m. So I don't even know what time he will arrive here or will have time to do anything shitty. Everything that happens is to mess things up. It's impressive.
Now, you talked about getting medication from the jail relating to the depression that you were experiencing around the holidays going into the new year, correct?
Well, I told you I didn't remember when I started taking it, so I can tell for sure.
Well, let me ask that question in a simpler form. You were experiencing anxiety and depression during the holidays into the new year, correct?
Yes,
Based upon those letters?
yes,
Okay. And at some point you sought help from the jail, the pharmacy,
correct.
and you don't know when it was,
No,
but when you did get any sort of medications or things like that, how long did you stay on those?
how long did it stay what?
How long did you stay on the medications for anxiety and depression?
As far as I remember, it was a few months.
For a couple of months?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I would say so.
Do you remember when you started?
When I started,
Yeah.
I do not remember.
Okay. Do you remember when you finished?
I do not remember the date, no.
Ma'am, do you see the new Smart Jail Mail communication that's on your screen?
I do,
And is this something you wrote?
yes.
Your Honor, we identified this as Defense Exhibit 34.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you read the highlighted portion?
It says, my lawyer didn't come. He called me to say he wouldn't have time today and that he'll come on Monday. I hung up on him. I'm so angry. He's the reason for my stress and anxiety.
Okay. Now, the stress and anxiety you're talking about, is that the stress and anxiety that you were receiving medication for?
No, it's a different kind of stress and anxiety.
Okay.
It's mostly depression.
Pausing for a moment. I do think it is normal for a defendant to be stressed, especially somebody charged with first degree capital M, somebody charged with anything at all. There is anxiety and stress that goes into going to court, and it doesn't sound like she was happy with her lawyer or their communication. Yeah, it is what it is, but we'll keep it going.
Appointment. That's it.
Okay, so this is disappointment.
Yes,
Okay. But it's clearly on your mind. I mean, for the entire month of July, these messages to your mother are about, you don't feel like you've seen your lawyer enough, correct?
correct.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to ask you to read the new Smart Jail Mail that's on your screen. This will be identified as defendant's number 35. Is this a communication that you wrote?
Yes,
And can you please read the highlighted portion for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
it says, living in Brazil would not work out for Brendan. Jill, not culture, Valerie, his family, career, not anything. That's I'm getting this idea out of his head and telling him it's okay to move on with his life. That's what makes me more upset, knowing that my trial have been this week and the next, and that this would have come to an end one way or another. But what can I do? And yes, it will be November. The son of a bitch better to think, not to think about moving again. I'm already pissed off at him because for the third time this week, he said he would come see me today and everything, but he didn't come. He had unforeseen circumstances. He says he'll come on Monday, and I already feel like we're behind again in hiring the specialists we need, etc. I don't even want to think about it. He's stressing me out. And you soon be back to college classes, right? And how is the progress on your paper? That's right. Enjoy the stuff around the house. I reckon that anything there costs 230, 100 reais. So expensive compared to here, LL. Wow, don't even get me started on letting go of relationship.
Is this your communication saying that you're letting go of your relationship with Brendan?
Sounds like
Well,
it.
it seemed like it.
You wrote it.
Yes,
So is that what this is?
it sounds like it.
So, ma'am, what I'm asking,
All right. So I wonder if what the defense is going to try to get at is that after she broke up with him, or when she moved on, but that's when her communication, or that's when she decided to testify against him. I wonder if that is the narrative that the defense is going to give. We'll see.
doing is asking of you as the author. You wrote that for a reason. Is that the reason?
What did you ask?
You as the author, you wrote it for a reason.
I wrote a message for a reason.
And is the reason here that this is you letting go of Brendan and your relationship?
I guess so.
Okay, well, do you know? Do you remember writing this?
Yes.
Okay, is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, can you see the new message, Smart Jail Mail message on your screen?
Yes,
And do you see the highlight portion?
I do.
And Your Honor, this would be marked as Defense Exhibit 36.
Okay.
Ma'am, please read the highlighted portion.
It says, I'm waiting to see if my lawyer responds about coming to see me today. I hope so, because I'm pissed off at him.
Ma'am, can you see the next Smart Jail Mail?
Yes, I do.
You wrote that?
Yes.
Your Honor, we identify that as Defense 37.
Okay.
Please read the highlighted portion, ma'am.
It says, my lawyer came to see me, but he brought his computer uncharged yet again, just like on Sunday. He came, but we didn't do anything. I don't know how he doesn't check it before coming. He came from home, wearing normal clothes. He wasn't even working. Ridiculous. I'm pissed. But I told him that I don't want to hear him say that we're not ready again. That he asked how I was doing, and I just cried. He couldn't speak. It's because of him that I'm still in this place. But I told him that I don't trust and believe in him. He's traumatized me. He said, my lawyer will come to see me next week. Let's see.
Ma'am, there's a new jail mail communication that will be marked as Defense Exhibit 38.
Okay.
Did you write that?
Yes.
Can you read the highlighted portions?
It says, I don't expect too much from Brendan. Whether I come back or got deported to Brazil, for various reasons. Valerie, his career, family, fight with Christina's parents, etc. And I'm very honest. He knows what I think and feel. Even though he wants to be with me, it's more complicated than it seems. And the other part says, that's why Brendan's mom and I got really mad at him, because he says he's coming to see me and he doesn't come. She keeps calling him, drives to his office, and nothing. She pushes him and calls his attention. Now it's getting close again. For me, it is a long time. But for them, 100 days isn't much. And finding and hiring the people who we need, etc. But I think he doesn't care. Time is money. The longer he pushes things back, the more money it will cost. Ridiculous. And the other part says, Brendan and I, we are different in many ways. Money, career, culture. We are only the same about sex, LOL. But still, if I can, I want to make it work.
So in this message, you're also talking about the possibility of letting go of this relationship, but then you say that you want to try to make it work.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you're saying in the first portion, in the second portion, that's why Brendan's mom and I got really mad at him. You're not talking about Brendan, are you?
No.
Okay, you're talking about your attorney.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, do you see the new Smart Jail Mail to your brother
Yes.
dated August 6th at 10:44 a.m.?
Yes.
And did you write that?
Yes.
Your Honor, we identify that as Defense Exhibit number 39.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you read the highlighted portion?
It says, the same old crap as always. No news. My lawyer comes to see me and it just makes me mad. And the other one says, Brendan and I are doing well.
Ma'am, do you see the Smart Jail Mail communication? And this is from you to your mother on August 6, 2024.
I see it.
Did you write that?
I did.
And can you read the highlighted portion for the jury? Your Honor, that we'd identify that as Defense Exhibit 40.
Yes.
It says, so I got pissed at my lawyer. He brought his computer uncharged again. Ridiculous.
Ma'am, do you see the new Smart Jail Mail communication on your screen?
I do.
It's one written by you to Paula. Did you write this?
Yes.
Your Honor, we'd identify this as Defendants 41.
Okay.
Can you please read the highlighted portion?
It says, So I'm so pissed at my lawyer because he just disappears for no reason. Says he's coming to see me and nothing. Anyway, I hope this changes. Otherwise, it'll be difficult for us to prepare for November. But he said we have enough time. We'll see. I told him that I don't trust him or his words anymore.
Okay. Ma'am, with regard to this, the timing on the message is 90 days out for your trial. Is that correct?
After my trial? Was that what?
90 days out from
Out.
your scheduled trial.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that why you're upset?
Well, it
Because
seems,
it's close to trial?
well, it seems I was upset because I was not seeing my lawyer.
Okay. I mean, you know you wrote it.
Yes.
Ma'am, do you see the smart jail mail that's on the screen?
Thank you, StreamYard, for letting me know I was muted. I also think that some of her communication style is more indirect. So instead of just answering questions, sometimes I think she just says, it seems like, I guess, you know what I mean? Like she doesn't just answer things all the time. And the defense lawyer is doing a good job redirecting her to say like, okay, because she's saying seems like, she's not saying if it was or it wasn't. And also it might be hard to remember messages that exactly why or you sent or exactly what you were thinking that long ago. Yeah, we'll keep it going.
Yes.
It's a message you wrote to your mother.
Yes.
It will be marked as defense exhibit number 42.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, can you read the highlighted portion for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
He says, and I spent almost 2 hours with my lawyer. It was good, but not actual news. We're just reviewing a few things. Marina, a reporter here, sent me a message today saying that the article about my case will be published on Sunday with your interview and everything. I hope I didn't say anything stupid. Everyone will see it.
Ma'am, do you see the smart jail mail message to between you and Paula?
Yes.
And can you read the highlighted portion?
He says, yes, you and Brendan are a bit complicated, right? Because it involves many circumstances, family, his daughter, but once you live there, you guys will figure it out what needs to be figured out. Now you really need to give your lawyer a push, right? To make sure everything will be ready for November. This person, he said, you would need the specialist. He has gone after this person.
Now, there's a pattern in the August messages which appear to be about your lawyer, but also about your relationship with Brendan. Is that fair?
Yeah,
That was on your mind at the time?
probably, yeah.
Okay. Is it fair to assume that if you wrote about it, that was on your mind?
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, if you can look at the smart jail mail that's on your screen, is that something that you wrote?
Yes.
And, Your Honor, we'd identify this as Defense Exhibit 46.
44.
Can you please read the highlighted portions?
44.
44?
Is correct?
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry.
Yes, 44.
44.
It was 44.
Ma'am, can you read the highlighted portions of this smart jail mail communication?
It says, my lawyer came to see me on Friday. We spent almost 2 hours together. And I was reading the stuff, the interviews they did with everyone, my friends, Brendan's, Christine's, and the guys. I discovered even more betrayals on Brendan's part. Haha. Since the beginning of the relationship, several that he never mentioned. I was shocked. Haha. And the other one says, Brendan and I, sometimes I consider it a lost cause, but I really feel for him, but a lot has happened. And there's a lot to be considered before any decision. And we don't even know what's going to happen in November, right? Now, we're really on his tail to make sure he won't screw up again and postpone it. I'm not so confident about it, LOL.
Ma'am, do you see the smart jail mail to your brother dated August 25th, 2024 will be identified as Defense Exhibit number 45? Do you see that?
I do.
And can you read, is this a message that you authored and sent?
Yeah,
And can you see the highlighted portions?
I can.
Can you read that, please?
It says, here, nothing new. My lawyer barely comes to see me. And later on it says, I told mom that Brendan wants to go to Brazil with me, buy a house there, etc. But she's kind of pissed because she doesn't want me to live away from home. And that grandpa likes Bruno, but doesn't like Brendan, even though he doesn't know him. Valerie or anyone personally, I told her to stop judging based on what she heard people say, what she assumed to be true. She assumes to be true.
Okay, so if we can identify Bruno is your former boyfriend?
Yes,
Okay. And with this smart jail mail system, were you communicating with him as well?
with Max?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Ma'am, do you see the new smart jail mail that's on your screen?
Yes.
And did you author that?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd identify this as Defense Exhibit 46.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you read the highlighted portions for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Yes. It says, my lawyer came to see me, but he had a problem with the computer again, and we basically did nothing. He told me that they lost the other trial that took place 2 weeks ago. And the other one says, another American reporter messaged me today, trying to talk to me. I don't even know where these people
Okay.
get.
So, I'm sorry, you're saying another American reporter messaged me today.
That's what it says, yeah?
Do the media and reporters and those associated with the media, do they have the ability to communicate with you on smart jail mail?
They do.
Okay. And how long have they been communicating?
I think she did an interview. I don't know. I could be wrong. We might get to it. I don't know if she did a media interview. I don't know. We'll keep it going.
With you, whether you answer them or not?
I guess throughout the whole process. I'm not sure.
From the time that you were arrested?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. And are there any particular media or news people that you communicate with frequently?
Yes.
Okay. And who is it that you communicate with frequently?
Do you want me to mention the name?
It's fine too.
Or is it Josh?
Okay. Josh, and who's he associated with?
Should I say it?
I'm asking you.
He's a producer with 48 Hours.
Okay. And are you speaking to anyone else who's a producer or potentially looking to buy your story?
At that point, no.
Sorry, you want to rephrase your question?
Are you speaking to any other media person?
Okay. So the state objected, but it does the jury. It's hard to get those things out your head once you've already heard it. So it sounds like she might be in communication with 48 Hours, and they may be producing something. Probably, yeah. So wow, maybe I don't know. If he's with 48 Hours, it might be.
Was I?
Other than Josh?
Was I?
Was you or are you now?
No, yes.
Now you are?
Yes.
Okay. And that's my question. Who are you speaking to?
Who am I speaking to?
Yes.
2 people.
Okay. Do you know their names?
I don't know their names, yes.
Okay. And is one of them Josh?
No.
Okay. What are their names?
Kate and Zachary.
Okay. Is that Kate Brower
Yes,
and Zachary Franks?
correct.
Okay. And
Okay. So we got to go over to Google. Kate Brower, and y'all might already know. So she is a journalist with, let's see, who is she with? I see she's a best-selling. Well, if that's the the right Kate Brower. Who does she work for? And y'all might already know. Okay, maybe CNN. If it's that Kate Brower, and then I forgot the other name. So let's go back.
Yes,
and Zachary Franks?
Okay, Zachary Franks. Who does media? I'm gonna try to find. He's a producer. Okay, I wasn't able to find his as easy. All right, we'll keep it going.
correct.
Okay. And has there been any sort of, have they given you anything in anticipation of something?
Anticipation of what?
In anticipation of anything? Have they given you anything? Have they provided you anything?
Yes, they have become my support system. So they've been helping me with money to communicate with my mom, my family in Brazil, and whoever I want to communicate with,
Okay,
and money to for commissary and that stuff. Yes.
so let me just slow you down there. I didn't quite hear all of that. I heard something about them giving you money,
Yes.
okay? And was it money to your mom in Brazil?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. So if you could just slow down on that and just say exactly what you just said.
I said they have become my support system.
Support
They've
system.
been putting, yes, they've been putting money on my books to talk to my mom, my family in Brazil, and whoever else I want to talk to, and to buy commissary and stuff. Yes.
Okay, so they're, in the absence of Tess, who used to pay all of that,
Yes.
these two are paying money toward your commissary.
Yes.
And what is it that they want from you?
Eventually, I want to tell my story.
Okay, and have you negotiated anything?
No, not really.
Okay, have they thrown a number out?
Have they what?
Have they thrown a number out for your story?
Yes.
Okay. Have you agreed to that number?
No.
Okay, so you're still in negotiations.
You can say so.
Well, you tell me. You're the
Oy. I do think that if Joseph Ryan, if his family wanted to sue, because if I don't think she should benefit financially from this. Me personally, these are just my personal thoughts, my personal beliefs. I hope the family, because civilly they might be able to sue financially, or if she has to pay any type of restitution. But I think the restitution was capped at 2,500, and possibly a part of her final sentencing, because she hasn't been sentenced yet. Excuse me. They might include that she can't profit financially from the story.
one who's involved in it.
Yeah, if you want to say yes.
Okay. And do you owe them any obligations for paying for your commissary money, or your ability to use smart jail mail, any of those sort of things?
I do intend to write a story with them eventually. Yes.
Okay. And is, just for curiosity's sake, is the story this story?
It's the truth, if that's what you're asking for.
No, I'm asking, is that what they're basically communicating, being your support system, paying money? It's for this story, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And what outfit are they with that would be handling this story?
What?
What company are they with that would be?
It's called Green Productions, if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm not sure.
Cream Productions?
That's what I would say. Like, yeah.
Okay, and is this story going to air on any network or TV streaming service or anything like that?
I heard.
Well, if she knows, that you can answer it. Go ahead, you can answer if you know.
As far as people told me, yes, but not that I have seen. Just people telling me that.
Well, it has
Other
been made yet,
producers have made the
Okay.
story. Yes.
but they represent some company, correct?
Correct.
And what's the company?
I'm not sure. Some people said Dateline.
I'm sorry?
Some people told me they saw it on Dateline, for example.
Okay, so
I
you've-
haven't, but that's what I heard.
You've spoken to Dateline too?
I did not speak to them. I said they made this story and somebody told me they saw it.
I'm sorry. They're talking about another story that they made that was on Dateline?
I did not know they story that was on Dateline. I did not see it.
I'm just trying to understand what you just said.
Yeah.
Something about Dateline.
Yes.
Are you saying that Kate and Josh are associated with Dateline?
No, they were not.
Okay, so how did Dateline come into what you just said?
You asked if other producers, company, whatever it is, made this story, told this story on the news or TV, and I said, as far as I've heard, they did, but not that I have seen.
Okay, well, I was just asking who you were associated with and who was
Oh,
supporting you and
okay.
who they were
Yeah,
associated with.
that's not them.
Okay, and you don't know what their company is?
She doesn't know.
You're gonna have to use your mic, I'm sorry.
Judge, that's been asked and answered. She said that they represented Cream Productions.
All right, asked and answered, so I'll sustain the objection. Next
Okay,
question.
I'll move on from there. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Uh-oh.
Ma'am, do you see the smart jail mail for August 30th
I see it.
from you to Paula?
Yes.
And that would be, Your Honor, that would be identified as defendants 47?
Yes.
Ma'am, can you read the highlighted portion for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
It says, in next month, I have a hearing, one of the regular procedural hearings that we have before the trial to decide some things. I presume now it's supposed to be twice as tiring. And of course, he won't want to talk about these things over the phone. I don't even think there are enough excuses, but it's fine. I'm getting over it. So this thing about the article in my case, my lawyer told me that last month, this Marina sent him an email saying that she was going to publish the article, etc. And he even got mad at her because we gave them your information so they could call you and write about me, not about the case, since I haven't even had my trial yet. And he said that she does not have access to police documents, my interview with them, evidence, etc. She only has access to the hearings I had because they're public documents here. But they must be either bluffing or waiting to see if I talk to them, because she told me she was going to publish it 3 weeks ago and still nothing.
Okay.
Ma'am, do you see the smart jail mail that's on the screen before you?
I see it.
Your Honor, that would be identified as defendant's exhibit number 48.
Hope he takes a sip of water. I had to do the same thing.
Ma'am, did you write this message?
Yes.
Can you read the highlighted portion for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
It says, my lawyer didn't even come to see me and said he had a hearing in the morning. And when he arrived here, there was a line of lawyers and they didn't have enough time to see the clients because there are only 3 rooms, 3 lawyers at a time. He says, he'll come tomorrow, son of a gun.
Message that's on your screen
Yes,
from you to your mother.
yes,
Did you author that?
yes.
Can you please read the highlighted portion to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
It says, and yes, I hope my lawyer comes tomorrow without fail. He stresses me out more than anyone else. The son of a bitch. I've already started crying and all because I got frustrated, you know.
And that's exhibit 49, is that correct?
49, I
Okay.
apologize. Message on your screen
Yes,
dated September 5th, 2024.
yes.
This will be identified as defense exhibit 50. Can you read the highlighted portion of the message?
He says, your mother messaged to me saying she's going to see Ryan now and he's coming to see me. She wait for him because I have something for Ryan.
Ma'am, do you see the new message on smart jail mail?
Yes,
Ma'am, can you read the highlighted portion
he
for the
says,
ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
well, again, my lawyer won't come see me today. Mimi met him. He said he has another hearing now. And while he was here earlier, he was talking to my lawyer. I'm like, are you kidding me? You have all the time in the world to talk to her. And you do that instead of coming to see me since you were here and I've been waiting since yesterday. As if I could go to his office to see him, right? Guess what? I can't because I'm here. I've been here longer than necessary because of his own screw-ups, delaying everything. Let's see if he won't screw up my trial too. During the trial, they will ask if I was satisfied with my lawyer. And if he represented me, well, I'll be honest and say no. But it's so good that you feel the change, Mom. And try to get along with what he said to you. It's not worth it acting like this. Did he say something about being in touch with me? Because it stops there.
I think that's just a bad highlighting job. Thank you.
Mm.
Ma'am, can you see the smart jail mail communication that's on the screen?
I see it.
Okay. And is that a message sent by September 5th, 2024 at 9:18 a.m.? Your Honor, that would be identified as defense exhibit number 52.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you read the highlighted portion?
It says,
Gentlemen of the jury.
let's see if my lawyer shows up today. He makes me very frustrated. I'm never happy satisfied with his work. He says he will do things, but he doesn't. He's delaying my entire process. Says he'll come see me and nothing. Doesn't make an effort, you know. I should have changed lawyers long ago, but now it's too late.
Ma'am, do you see the smart jail mail on the screen?
Yes,
And this looks like it's September 5th, 2024.
that one I already read.
Is that the one you just read?
Yeah.
Oh, that must be a duplicate, sorry. Scratch that, Judge.
All right.
I don't think I got nothing. I believe there are some differences, ma'am. Can you just read the highlighted portions, and that would be identified as defense exhibit number 52? 53.
Well, that's the one I just read.
Can
It
you
still shows
please
it.
read it again?
Oh, he says, well, again, my lawyer won't come see me today. Maybe met him. He said he has another hearing now, and while he was here earlier, he was talking to my lawyer. I'm like, are you kidding me? You have all the time in the world to talk to her, and you do that instead of coming to see me since you're here, and I've been waiting since yesterday. As if he could go to his office to see him, right? Guess what? I can because I'm here. I've been here longer than necessary because of his own screw-ups, delaying everything. Let's see if he won't screw up in my trial. During the trial, they will ask if I'm satisfied with my lawyer and if he represented me well, and I'll be honest and say no.
And that's one of the questions that's on the plea form that you signed.
As far as I remember,
Okay. And did you say no at that time?
I did not.
Okay. So you told him you were satisfied. You told the judge that you were satisfied with his and her services.
Yeah, he explained well to me.
Okay. So between September 5th and the plea in October 29th, everything seemed to be fine with your relationship with your lawyer that you've been talking about in these emails?
I guess so.
Okay, well, you lived it, so I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, do you see the smart jail mail message on your screen?
Yes.
Okay. Did you write this?
Yes.
And can you, this would be identified as Defense Exhibit 54. Ma'am, can you read the highlighted portion for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
He says, difficult to trust him, knowing how he's like. His lack of commitment and care. At first, he said he would spend 2 hours with me, and when he came to see me, I wish. He barely shows up. He just makes us wait. But what can I do? It's too late to change lawyers. I don't trust him.
Ma'am, this is a smart jail mail that you authored to Paola, your friend. Can you read this would be marked as exhibit number 55, Defense Exhibit 55.
Yes.
Can you please read the highlighted portion to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
It says, and about my lawyer, I wish. Good heavens, he makes me so mad. Last week alone, he said 3 times that he would come to see me on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. He didn't show up. Brenda's mother kept sending messages and calling, and he kept her waiting for him, me waiting for him, and he still hasn't shown up. So my female lawyer came to see me to talk about this next hearing. Nothing much, sweet Lord. I told her that I don't trust him. I'm scared because my life is in his hands. You know, that I don't know how he expects me to stay calm when he doesn't even have the responsibility and commitment to come to see me or do things when they're supposed to be done, delaying my entire process, etc.
Ma'am, do you see the message that you authored from September 15, 2024?
Yes,
Okay. This would be identified as defense number 56.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you read the highlighted portion to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
it says, it's been 11 months since I've been here. My goodness, I need this to end as soon as possible.
Okay, so on September 15th, you're just ready to end it, correct?
Yeah,
Because you have a trial in less than two months from then, right?
correct.
And what's the basis? Why are you saying, I just want it to end right now?
That's the same way I always felt. I just wanted this to be over.
Okay, but this is the first time that you've written in one of your smart jail mail messages. What's the reason at this point?
I'm not really sure.
Okay, do you remember writing this?
I mean, it's here. I know it's for me, but I can tell you all the messages I wrote every day. And
Okay. So you don't have any specific recollection as to this message?
Specifics, no.
Okay. Ma'am, do you see this smart jail mail message
Yes,
on the screen? Your Honor, we identify that as defense number 57. Is this the person that you were talking about?
Yes.
Your friend who's supporting you?
no,
Okay, so this is someone who's reaching out. Were you aware when he reached out that that was the day that Brendan was indicted?
at that point, I didn't.
Okay. Did he say anything to you in your communication in addition to this?
Yeah, he had mentioned that Brenda was just indicted.
Okay, can you please read the highlighted portion to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
It says, Dear Ms. Magallanes, I'm a producer for the show 48 Hours on the North American channel, CBS News. Our team is researching your case in the hope of producing a 1-hour documentary about your story. We'd like to ask you to consider participating in an on-camera interview. I'd also like to speak with any friends or relatives you think could be additional voices on your behalf. But first, I propose that we have a conversation over the phone, or even a video call, or an informal in-person meeting, so that I can tell you a bit about my experience over more than 30 years of a journalist, my interest in your story, and my ideas for the project. Feel free to contact me if you can. If you prefer to speak in Portuguese, I can arrange for a translator. Thank you for your time and consideration. Thank you.
Now, was Josh one of the contributors to the your account here at the Fairfax County Sheriff's Office?
Pode me contribute.
Did he put money in?
No, he did not.
Are you still talking to him?
I was.
Are you still?
No.
Ma'am, do you see the smart jail mail communication on your screen?
Yes.
Did you author this?
Yes.
This would be marked as defense exhibit number 58. Can you please read the highlighted portion for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury? This is
It's-
from September 16th, 3:49 p.m.
It says, I heard they either arrested or are detaining Brenda now. Have you heard anything about it? I'm scared. They sent me downstairs because they had a search warrant for my cell to see if they didn't find anything here, etc. Then a guy from a TV channel messaged me saying he saw on the news that they had arrested him. My goodness, I don't know what's happening.
I'm probably confused.
That is on your screen.
Yes,
And is this something that you authored?
yes,
Okay. Your Honor, I'd identify this as defense exhibit number 59.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you read the highlighted portions to the jury and the
It's
ladies and
at-
gentlemen of the jury?
It says, I want to avoid people staring at me and talking about me and Brendan. I'm so disheartened, so low on energy. I just want to lay down and sleep, tired. Even at the double dose of medicine, I didn't sleep well.
So Brendan's arrest had a real significant effect on you, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and is that where you're disheartened, you're low on energy, you're not able to sleep?
That's what I
You're saying
said.
in this message?
Yes,
Okay, and that corresponds with him having you confirmed that he was in fact arrested, not just heard it, you've confirmed it 5 days later, correct?
yeah,
Okay. Now, at that point, were you on any sort of medications for depression or anxiety or anything like that?
at that point, I don't think so.
Okay, so you had stopped them at some point? Okay. Ma'am, and did you author that?
That's from my mother to me.
Can you read the highlighted portion to the
It
ladies
says-
and gentlemen of the jury?
It says, but it seems that I was guessing he was guilty and putting the blame on you. At least you'll get rid of this. I don't know if it will be good for you to tell. I'm afraid she might block you from being able to talk to us. But you know what is best, because she probably doesn't know that he planned it. If you tell Mimi, tell her not to cut you off from your mom, please. Tell her that it was.
All right. So when they say Mimi, that is Brendan's mother. And Brendan's mother, up until this point, she's been putting money on her books and also making sure that Juliana is able to communicate with her family in Brazil and whoever else she wants to communicate with.
Who planned it?
Okay, so There's a couple of things that I wanted to ask you about. It appears you and your mother are worried about the monies to be able to communicate, correct?
Like I said before, yes.
Okay, no, I'm talking about this at this moment,
Yes,
okay? And it appears that you're worried about any monies that might be going in so you can get extra food, correct?
yes,
Okay, and it appears that your mother is telling you that Brendan is the planner, correct?
yeah, that's what she said.
Okay. And was that the first time that you said that?
Judge, I'm going to object. This message is from,
I can't unring that bell. It's a delayed objection. Thank you.
Okay.
Is that the first time that you said it, that Brendan, in time, on October 26, 2024? Is that the first time that you said what your mother's written here?
The first time I said what?
What your mother has written in this message?
Well, that's the only one I see here. But I don't remember if she had said it before. I can recall.
I'm not asking about whether she said it. I'm asking about whether you said it.
But I'm confused because this is a message from my mom to me,
Yeah.
not from me to her. So I don't know what I said before this.
Well, it appears she's telling you to tell Tess or them that Brendan planned the whole thing,
Well, that's what she said, yes.
okay? And what I'm asking is, was that the day when you told the police that Brendan planned the whole thing?
I had mentioned to my mom before about the plea. I had mentioned to her that I was thinking about taking the plea. And I had the reasons I was scared of why I didn't take the plea. And this message, that's when I told her that I had signed the plea, and that's what she responded to me. But she was aware before that I was thinking about taking the plea.
So you had signed the plea on the 26th of October?
Now I don't remember the date.
Do you remember the plea as being October 29th? 3 days later?
Baker said yes.
So when was it that you made the agreement to the plea that you signed and was executed on October 29th?
She doesn't know the date.
I don't remember the date exactly. I signed it. I don't know where we're going with
Do you
this.
need to see it, see the plea form?
She doesn't remember the days. I am gonna skip ahead just a little. It looks like, okay, we're almost to lunch. Okay, so I'm gonna skip ahead just a little.
Okay.
Had you ever received this motion?
Again, I do not remember that.
Okay. Do you remember what you read there? Do you remember what was happening, what happened or was going to happen prior to the plea?
I think I was going to continue my trial.
Yeah.
That's what you're asking. Yeah.
So when did you find that out and how did you find that out?
I don't remember how I found that out.
Could it have been this motion?
Could have.
Did you go to court?
But my lawyer told me.
She doesn't remember.
So were you in agreement with this motion?
To continue the trial?
Yeah.
Yes.
You agreed to continue the trial.
Well, what choice did I have?
Well, that's a good point. What choice did you have? Had you agreed to plead guilty prior to this motion being heard?
I don't
Judge,
think-
I'm going to object. There's no date that has been given when
All
this
right, you want me to
motion
foundation for the
was,
date?
there's no, yeah.
I'm just asking what, I don't know when the motion was going to be heard either, Judge.
She needs a date for reference, I think.
Okay,
I can answer if something I don't know about.
it's exactly right. So you don't know about it.
Well, I'm saying this now.
Now, let me just ask you this. We'll switch subjects. During the beginning portion, during the first 2 weeks of October, you had an emergency health crisis.
I wonder if the glasses are for her to see far or for her to see up close. The taking off the glasses. Now, I am one that, so I wear glasses to see far. And I can see just fine. Like I can see, I can't read words that are far away if I don't have my glasses on. Her glasses looked pretty thick and they're probably jail, prescription glasses through the jail. But the taking off the glasses, I noticed that. So she is likely going to get time served and be deported. She pled guilty to manslaughter. She has not been formally sentenced yet. She is facing up to 10 years, I believe. Now she could, because I think there's 2 counts of manslaughter. So she may have, because it can be concurrent or consecutive. So I believe, remember, I'm not a lawyer. I believe the maximum she's facing is 20 years. She is from Brazil, and so she will most likely be deported. Okay. All right. Let's keep it going.
correct?
I did.
Okay, and you were taken away from the jail here, correct?
Yes.
And you were in the hospital setting, correct?
Yes.
And you were being watched by law enforcement because you had come from here,
Yes.
correct? How long were you in the hospital setting for?
10 days.
10 days. And that was the first portion of October?
It
Or
was,
What was the time frame, if you recall?
it was October 13th.
Until October 13th or? Sorry,
No,
13th?
I went to the hospital October 13th.
So you were in the hospital October 13th, and if I understand, based on your answer, you were there until the 23rd?
That's correct.
Okay. And then on the 28th, on the 25th, you told the prosecutors you were going to accept the deal.
Yes.
And then on the 28th, you signed the deal,
Correct.
and you appeared before Judge Escarate on October 29th.
Correct.
So you recall all of those dates.
I do.
Okay. And my question to you is, you just testified that you were going to tell the story the Commonwealth's having you tell because you just wanted the truth to be out there. Is that correct?
You should do the right thing.
I wanted to tell the truth. Yes.
Okay. And so from October 13th, 2023
Good question.
to October 28th, 2024, you were not concerned about telling the truth, but then on the heels, on the brink of a trial, which potentially was going to be, we don't know.
Testifying and not asking a question.
What's the objection?
Counsel is testifying. This is a narrative that counsel is providing.
Argumentative, possibly?
Argumentative.
All right. I'll sustain the objection if you want.
I'm sorry.
I'll sustain the objection. Just want to ask another.
So are you asking the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to believe that you came out during that time frame because you wanted the truth to be known versus any time the year before that?
Well, the fact that I took a year to accept my plea, it does not mean that I didn't have anything to tell the truth before. It does not mean that.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
I said, just because it took me a while to take the plea, it does
Okay, I'm gonna slow her down a little bit. She's saying just because it took her a while to take the plea, it doesn't mean that she's not telling the truth.
not mean that I didn't have the intention to do so. I just didn't get to do it. And for many reasons I said before, I was concerned about, but it
Okay.
does not mean I didn't want to do it.
Okay. And so your health crisis didn't have anything to do with it?
But I was just coincidentally, when I came back from the hospital,
So it was a coincidence?
you can say that.
And I think she had some type of surgery. I think they mentioned it at another point. She had some type of surgery, I think. Like appendix, she had some, maybe gallbladder, something like that. She had some type of surgery.
Well, I'm asking you.
Well, yes,
Okay. Could it have something to do with being 3,000 miles away from your family when you're having a health crisis?
well, it might have been all the factors together. We can consider that one of the factors too.
Okay, and that's what I'm going through. An upcoming trial, is that part of it?
I was not really thinking about that.
Okay. The health crisis, being far from home, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Brendan being arrested and jailed, is that part of it?
Yes,
What other parts?
I said it before, but I had my concerns about communication with my mother. And yes, that's what I said before too.
Okay, so it was because of communications for your mother that you thought you'd take the deal as one of the parts?
You can put into the equation, yes.
Okay, so it's all the things that we just talked about went into you
Telling the
deciding that the truth was to be told on October 28th, 2024.
Yes,
And that's what you're telling the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
what am I telling them?
That's when you decided the truth needed to be told?
I'm not telling them that.
Well, you're testifying before
I
them,
held,
you're
I
testifying before the
withheld, I
court.
withheld the truth for a long time just to myself. And it was a lot for me to deal with.
Okay,
And I just couldn't do this anymore. It was too much for me. And I do believe that part of me getting sick, it was just one of the factors. There is only so much your brain can take before your body starts responding to the stress as well. And only I do know how I felt. Only do I know what I was carrying with me, how long I withheld the truth.
Okay.
And so when I was asking you how you felt that made these statements about pain and torture and all those things in the emails, you didn't really have anything to say about that.
Of
So
course, I
what is
didn't
it-
have.
What is it that you were holding in?
Of course, I didn't have anything to say to that because I knew our letters could be read because I was going through my lawyer. And at that point, my lawyer did not know the truth either. I did not tell him that. So I knew he was reading the letters as well. So I couldn't do that. And I did not tell Tess, Brandon's mother, about how I was feeling, withholding the truth because she did not know either. She did not have any knowledge about what really happened. And so how was I supposed to do expressing the letters that I was feeling guilty or ashamed and all that stuff for if the letters were being read? If she didn't know the truth, I couldn't do it.
So the truth, you were holding the truth yourself and no one else knew.
Well, Brenda does.
Well, but we're talking about you in jail,
Oh, yes,
okay? And so you were just holding that for an entire year by yourself,
I was.
enjoying the benefits of a lawyer,
Yeah,
enjoying the benefits of whatever comes into the commissary or for communication purposes. Correct?
if that's one how to describe it.
Well,
I can
isn't
describe
that
that
one of
way.
the, isn't that some of the benefits of either having, you're a lawyer or Tess Banfield helping you out?
Well, I had their love and their support. Yes, I did.
Okay, and so you were concerned about losing that? Is that why you were holding the truth?
Losing what specifically?
Losing her love and her support financially?
Yeah, I was lost and afraid in so many ways, yes.
Okay, and that's essentially the crux of the communication with your mother, which was the last smart tail mail that we were talking about, isn't that right?
Can you rephrase your question?
That was essentially the discussion between you and your mother about telling everyone that Brendan was the one who planned this.
Well, that was the conversation we had.
I understand that, I saw it. And that's something that you knew was going to be read, correct?
Yes.
And when she said that to you, my question to you was, who was it you told that Brendan planned this whole thing for the first time, and when was that?
Yes, my mother.
And when was
Because
that?
how can I tell you?
She doesn't remember.
I do not remember the date.
I mean, with all due respect, you don't remember a lot of details.
Yeah.
And that's what's really concerning about this.
Well, if you were in my shoes, you don't remember either. You know, your brain has a way to, defense mechanism it's called, and it protects you from losing your mind, losing yourself.
Okay.
And many things our brain blocks out. And I guess everybody can relate to that at some point.
Okay.
So your brain's blocked out the details of this plan that
Judge,
you've talked about?
objection. That is not what she said.
I'll overrule it. I didn't hear the question.
So your brain has blocked out the details of this plan that essentially your whole future rests on with the Commonwealth?
I still don't understand your question. What
So-
are you implying?
Your lack of detail is because of your brain blocking it out?
Yes,
Okay. And even included in the things that are important, like this plan that you've been talking about, but we haven't heard any details.
well, I can tell you that the fact that I do not remember some specific details does not mean it's a lie. I can guarantee that everybody has things in life that they did not remember. And it doesn't make
Okay,
any
well,
less.
I appreciate that. We're talking about you though, and what
I'm
you
talking about me
say,
too.
but if you can just give me a chance to question. What you're saying is that you're forgetting crucial details regarding a horrific, tragic event for many people here.
Yeah.
And you're not able to remember those details.
Well, I think you can also call it trauma
Okay,
for
so,
things that you've seen, for things that happened that your brain blocks out.
okay,
Yes.
so your brain's blocking it, you've got trauma, that's blocking it. What else, what are the other reasons you're not able to explain details relating to this case?
What do you mean other reasons?
What other reasons? I mean, you seem to have two at least. What are the other reasons?
Or I cannot remember some details.
Okay. Okay, well, Jerome, is this a good time for break?
I was just going to ask you, is this a good time for break?
This is a good time to break.
Oh, okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and take our lunch recess then for the next hour. Please do not do any outside.
All right, so we get to skip past lunch and get back into things. Let's see if they're bringing in the jury. She's going to be back on the stand. Just playing because they're showing the defendant because they don't always pan over to him. Okay, I think the jury just came in.
Gary, next question.
Thank you. I apologize, Your Honor. A little technical difficulty.
Okay, going to fast forward past that.
Is it published to the
It's to-
counsel,
It's to the counsel at the moment. And to the witness.
the witness? Ma'am, is this the person that is your support and you're working with?
Say
Do
again?
you see on the camera before you?
Yes, again.
Okay, is that your friend Kate Brower?
It is.
Okay.
Do you want to make that exhibit 62? Just,
Oh, yes, Your Honor, Exhibit 62.
Poor Kate Brower.
And I'd like to play that for the witness.
if you want to approach.
Okay, so they're going to talk about it.
Ma'am, and did you have a conversation with your friend on March 14th, 2025?
Well, we have the date, so I'll take your word for it.
Do you remember the date?
I don't remember date.
How many conversations do you have with her?
Depends. Sometimes more often than other times.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that. How many times have you talked to her?
How many what?
How many times have you talked to her?
I don't know.
Okay. When did you first meet her?
I would say back in January, February, I want to say.
February of 25?
Yes,
And you continue talking to her to
Yes.
this date?
Yeah.
When was the last time you talked to her?
last week, I guess.
Last week?
Yes.
Okay. And so how many times a week do you talk to her?
Well, I don't know how many times I talked to her.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
She doesn't know.
I said, I don't know how many times.
Okay. Do you talk every week?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you talk 2 times a week?
Sometimes,
Okay. Do you talk 3 times a week?
sometimes.
Do you talk 4 times a week?
Well, we have the records because I don't remember. I can tell it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I can tell.
You can't tell? You don't know?
I
So
don't know for
you don't
sure.
have a guess? of
I don't know
how
for
many times you've
sure.
talked to your friend?
No.
Okay. See what's on your screen there relating to the smart jail mail?
Oh, I see it.
Okay. And let me just slide it up.
Just for the record, so the record knows what she's looking at. So the picture was 62 that we just,
Yes, sure.
that she just saw. And so this would be 63, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Defense Exhibit 63.
thank you.
These are a compressed version of smart jail mail communications.
Yes,
Do you see that?
I see it.
And are these the communications? You can see the ones that you're responsible for are the outgoing communications.
Yes,
Can you look at that first outgoing communication just to make sure that it's accurate and it's yours?
yes,
Okay. And so that appears to be from January of this year. And those are back and forth communications between you and Kate Brower. Is that right?
right.
And it says this is 100 that's on this document of 236 entries. Would that be accurate in terms of your back and forth communications with Kate Brower since January 28th?
Judge, I'm going to object at this time. If we go back up to the top of the document, please.
Could go up to the top.
I don't, because we can't see it, so.
Judge, this question assumes facts, not in evidence. There's a date range at the top of the document that necessarily limits the number of messages that we're going to see.
I guess the date range is,
I'm not sure I understand that, Judge. May we approach?
yeah, why don't we approach?
We'll see.
Ma'am, I'm sorry if I created some confusion there, but I'm asking for whether or not the 263 messages were from January 28th, the first message, up until October of last year. Does that sound right?
Well, it sounds right. It's there.
Do you need to see any more, ma'am, in order to verify that these are your communications?
What is your question?
Do you need to see any more of this document in order to verify that these are your communications?
No.
Okay. Excuse me. Calling your attention to the Smart Jail Mail dated 12/9/2024 at 1:20 p.m. It will be identified as number 64.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you read that and see if that's a communication that you remember writing?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. And the highlighted area, can you read that to the jury?
Yeah, it says, now I'm sending a message because I'm talking to Josh, Matthew's friend. And each time he sends a message, he transfers 50 credits, which is necessary to send a message.
Okay.
And ma'am, if you can look at December 13th, the Smart Jail Mail, 12/13/2024 at 9:25 a.m. Did you write this
Yes,
and you recognize it?
I do.
Can you read the highlighted portion to the, I'm sorry, Judge, this would be Defense Exhibit 65.
Okay.
Can you read the highlighted portion to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Yes, it says, yes, let's work together to achieve more things. After a while, when I'm back home, I will for a producer and write a book with my story, and maybe even make a movie. make money, right? Lawyers, producers, everyone tells me to do this, that I have a talent.
Ma'am, if you could look at what will be marked as Defense Exhibit 66, March 4th, 2025, 2:41 p.m. Is this something that you wrote? Highlighted portion to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Yes, it says, what can you do, right? I had a video call with the producer who works with Netflix, and they want to make a movie or documentary about my case, and he explained in terms of compensation, money, etc. Things that Josh had denied, saying that don't do that, right? Anyway, he wants to finalize the contract already, so when I leave here, we can have the interview and everything else. But they want to be exclusive, so I can talk only to them. It's worth it. They want to pay because they want to talk to you too in interviews, and you share photos, videos, facts from when I was a child, adolescence, etc. Things for them to add to the movie. So they're thinking about $10,000, which would be around 55,000 in our money. Helps and it's good, but I want to negotiate. I want more than this because if I sign the contract, I end up losing other opportunities to make more money if I talk to other producers, etc. Right? We have to think. I know I can make even more than $25,000. It would already be more than 100,000 in our money, guys. Think about our future. What do we want to do?
And once again, I just want to mention that she has not been formally sentenced, and the state could request that she not be able to sell her story, that she not be able to find her or anyone in her. I don't know. I don't know how much they can track people in the family. So, because sometimes how producers can get around that is by paying the parent and not necessarily paying this individual, but because it sounds like they want the individual potentially wants her mother involved, but we will see. The victim's family can also sue as well, where they can request like what's it called, like something about death, like it's like unlawful death or something, but like they can sue financially too. But we'll see what happens. Doo, doo, doo.
Your Honor, I'd identify this next item as exhibit number 67, 3/5/2025, 4:06 p.m. And ma'am, do you recognize this smart jail mail communication that you created?
Yes,
And could you please read the highlighted portions?
yes. It says the documentary film will be made regardless of whether I am here or in Brazil. It'll be an interview and everything. I'm still talking to them, negotiating. I want a higher amount, especially since my whole life will be exposed to everyone, right? And they're going to be making a lot of money off of it. We deserve something.
Okay. And in that instance, so these last messages that have been in the spring of 2025 appear to have changed their tone. Is that correct?
What do you mean in terms of what?
Well, they're less about I'm so upset. I'm in this situation. I'm feeling pain. I'm feeling torture. I'm feeling all those sorts of things. Or Brendan and I are still going to be together, which some of the older ones were. Or I haven't seen my lawyer. I don't know what's going to happen with this trial. We don't see any of that. We're talking about the future now, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you're talking about the future and basically what the future is going to mean for you monetarily. Isn't that right?
He talks about it.
Okay. Is that what you're doing?
What I'm doing?
Yeah, you're making a plan for how you're going to negotiate?
Eventually.
And I think your last words were, we do deserve something. Is that
Yes,
right?
it is right.
And what's the reason? Just give the details as to why you think you deserve something.
In my point of view, it's always been most about my family and
Okay. I think that question was to hurt her credibility with the jury. And I apologize if y'all can hear an ambulance going by. My office is near the hospital, so sometimes I hear ambulances going by. But I think that question was because she's trying to profit financially from the deaths of the victims that we're here to remember. So we'll see what that does, but okay.
what I've put them through, what they've been going through since my arrest and all this had happened, what they've been struggling with. And so my whole point was about helping them, because I can't, that was when I was working before. And if they can have something to help them, I want them to have it.
Okay. Well, you're saying we, which includes you. Is that right? And
Well,
you
yeah,
You
if-
deserve something. What does that mean?
Take literally the word we, yeah.
So what does that mean? You deserve something?
Judge, I'm going to object. It's been asked. She just answered it. She answered it very well.
Overruled.
What does that mean? You deserve something.
That's what it says, the words, we.
I know that. What
I-
what do you mean? What
Also,
are the details that are associated with making a
yeah,
statement?
also, okay, so also me in the future, yes.
And what is it you deserve something for?
For everything we've been through, my family and I, for everybody,
For being what you've been through?
for being through what I've been through.
Okay.
Going to jail? That's not going to go. That's not going good.
You were charged with murder because you shot someone. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
And so why would you deserve something because of that?
Not because of that. I didn't say that I deserve something because of
Okay.
what I did.
I didn't hear any details, so feel free to tell me why.
I'm saying for after, when this is over, for me and my family. And again, for everything we've been through.
Okay. Now, when prior to you accepting the Commonwealth's offer and accepting the story, were you negotiating with anyone prior to taking your plea?
Now that I remember,
Okay, I'm sorry, not that you remember.
yes.
Okay. Were you talking to any media?
Not that I remember either.
Okay. Was there any talk of money with anyone, no matter who it was,
No,
other than people that you want to pay into your account?
no,
Okay, so this newfound interest in, a nest egg for yourself or money for you has come about since you pled guilty and accepted their deal, correct?
well, that is correct.
And and I guess it took a little time to go out into the future in order for you to feel comfortable doing that. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, I was thinking about my future, yes.
Thinking it was a huge risk?
Is what?
Did you say huge risk?
No, I was thinking about my future, yes.
I was
That's what
thinking about
said.
your future. Okay.
Yes,
And so that gets back to where I started. So that's just what this is about. It's just thinking about your future.
you can say that.
Okay. Well, do you say that?
If you want to put it that way, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Do you see the letter that's marked March 8th, 2025?
Yes,
Did you write that?
yes,
Do you see the highlighted portions?
I can.
And Your Honor, this is defense portion to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
It says, I'm talking to this girl. She's an author, published books and everything. She even sent me her books to read. Her name is Kate. She works with the guy named Zacharias. We have video calls sometimes. They are the ones interested in making a documentary with Netflix on my case, interview, etc. So I'm negotiating with them regarding money, etc. Then they could help me while I'm here putting money in my account.
And is that the first time that you told your mom about her?
Well, that's the only message I have here that mentions her, so I would say so.
Okay. And the words say that you're negotiating. Do you have anyone assisting you in negotiating this?
No,
Okay, so it's just you on your own against the television people.
I mean, I had some people, I'd say cellmates, that talked to me about it, and they were more, I would say more smart about it, I guess, and telling me to negotiate, and yeah.
Okay,
So I had people telling me that.
so you're getting advice, but you're doing the negotiation.
Well, I was the one texting, yes, but I was getting advice, yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
I was the one texting, but I was getting advice from other people, yes.
And those are also on Smart Jail Mail?
Yes, should be. What, the messages?
Yeah.
So she's getting advice from other inmates, and that would not be on the jail mail, but I'm tracking.
People that you're getting advice from.
No, it's not.
Okay. How are you communicating with them?
I just said it was my cellmates.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that.
Heard.
March 11th, 2025, Defense Exhibit number 69. Ma'am, is this something that you wrote?
Yes.
And the highlighted portion, can you read that for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
It says, I'm still waiting for my lawyer, like a fool. He doesn't return any message or anything, call, visit, nothing. It's been more than a month since I've been trying to talk to him. Anyway, what can I do? I need food, but if depend on him, I will start first. I'm talking to the people I told you about who want to make a documentary with Netflix. The guy says he can send me some money to buy things now, but that he would send a contract through my lawyer for me to sign. But I'm not very confident in doing this because I'm talking to another company that they'll probably be able to offer more,
Okay. And it's clear then you didn't sign a contract, but money has been sent?
Yeah, to buy stuff, yes.
Okay, how much do you think that amount is?
I cannot recall the amount.
Okay, $1,000?
No,
$500?
I don't know.
It's close to 500?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
We'll see where we go next. Long pause.
Let's see what's on the screen.
There we go. I think he put something else up on the screen.
Okay. What, this is going to be related to questions relating to what you have there. Can you see what that is?
Well, I'm not so sure what it is, so.
It's a WhatsApp chat between you and Christine Banfield.
Okay,
Okay?
This is
Yeah.
number 70 for the record.
Yes, Defense Exhibit 70.
Okay.
Do you see that, ma'am?
yes.
And do you remember on January 9th chatting with Christine Banfield on the phone?
I do not remember the date specifically.
Okay, the date is the date when the email account was created.
Okay,
So I think you'd said she was up in the upstairs bedroom, correct?
correct.
And you were down in the basement?
I did not say that.
Yeah, he didn't.
Do you know where you were?
She
I
said
said I
that-
don't remember.
she did.
You don't remember where you were?
I do not.
That's what
Okay.
she said.
And do you remember? Okay, so I think you had testified that you didn't remember where you were when the account was signed on, but this
What?
is
Where when?
when the account was signed in, was
Yes.
created.
Yes. Going back to the earlier testimony. This has been, yes. This was back from earlier in the day. Yes. All right.
Email
Well, now
account,
I'm confused.
January 9th?
What?
January 9th?
Oh, okay. I'm confused just about what you just said.
Okay, we previously talked about setting up the email account, and you
Right.
indicated that you and Brendan did it, right?
Right,
And you weren't sure which room of the house, but you were
Yes.
below where Christine was, which was in the top level bedroom.
She was
correct?
upstairs.
yeah, we're always, yes.
But do you
Well-
remember saying that to me? It was just this morning.
Well, I said I didn't remember where I was in the house.
Yes.
Right, but do you remember saying that the two of you were together, you just weren't sure if it was the main floor or the basement floor?
Yes,
Okay, do you have any clarity on where you were
no,
at this point? Okay,
no,
so, but you were chatting with Christine just prior to the setup of the account, isn't that right?
well, I do not remember.
Okay, if this is before the setup of the account, you were chatting with her, right? That's all I'm asking is what you have on the screen here.
I'm going to object. I don't think that she's answered that she knows that this is before or after or when in
What was the
conjunction.
objection?
She doesn't
Really
remember.
need more objections from you. That's very helpful. I apologize, Your Honor. Objection is foundation, lack of
Okay,
foundation.
foundation, there we go.
Well, I think the foundation is, this is the WhatsApps.
Or
which
you
have
want to
been
lay a foundation for it, that's fine.
For the question?
Yes.
Okay.
If he has the time that the email was
We
created,
previously talked about you and Brendan setting up.
I'm gonna skip past because she probably doesn't remember. She probably does not remember. All right. All right, let's keep it going.
You're not sure are you certain as to whether or not this is a communication that you had on January 9th?
Again, Mr. Carroll, if it's here, it is what it is,
Okay, so we can conclude that you had a WhatsApp chat,
right?
and from there on after this, you don't remember anything.
Gosh. No, I don't.
Okay.
All right, so I'm down to 5 minutes left. So you can see that she's starting to get agitated. Okay, we're gonna keep it going. And that's what the opposite
Let me
side's
switch
attorney is
gears
going
here
to
and
try
go
to
through
do
something
that.
hopefully that you'll know.
This question. Long pause. Sorry, I'll go back.
Ma'am, can you see the slides
Yes, I can.
that are before you?
Yes,
Okay. Do you recognize those?
yes,
Okay. If I told you this was January 21st, 2023, would you know, did you do this or did Brendan do this?
I would say based on what he did.
I don't know that, I'm not sure what you said.
Based on the
So he
writing.
did.
Brendan did.
Yes,
Okay.
Based on the writing.
Mr. Carroll, just again for the record, is this a 71? Is it
This would be a presentation at 71.
the whole PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, this is a FetLight message from January 19th, 2023. Do you recall that message?
well, it's very similar to many other messages.
For anybody that's late to this, FetLife was a fetish app, or it's a website where people could communicate to try to find potential individuals with similar interests. And there were red flags. So the state presented that there were red flags with this profile, and that there were multiple other people that did not engage with this profile because people would ask to meet in person. They would ask to do a video call. They would ask to, like, they don't want the first meeting to be at the person's house. They weren't on board with entering the home because the door was unlocked and immediately going into this. What the allegation is, what Brendan and Juliana, what they had messaged. There were people that were not okay with that. All right. Yeah, this trial is going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to continue to follow it. My next time I'll be able to go live is probably on Saturday around 1:45, 2 o'clock, depends on what time I get back from the grocery store. Depending on what's happening tomorrow, I might be able to stream live tomorrow morning, but we will see. I have to do some report writing and I have to catch up on some notes. So we will see if I'm just listening in somebody else's chat or if I decide to go live myself. We will see. It depends on what type of testimony. If they're still working with her tomorrow, I'll probably stream hers again. Yeah.
That were exchanged on the website.
It's very similar to what?
To the other messages exchanged on the website.
Okay. Do you recognize this?
It's very familiar, yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me, did you create this or did Brendan create this?
Both of us will still write basically the same things, I would say. Very similar ways, and yeah.
So she doesn't know.
Okay, let's try it this way. Who typed it?
She doesn't.
Well, both of us use it to type.
Okay, so which one typed this one?
She doesn't know.
I can tell for sure, this one.
So you don't know which one you did it.
There's one now. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. And if you didn't do it, then did Brendan do it? Or is it
Yeah.
just your memory?
It's either of us. We were the only ones using the website to write messages.
Okay.
So
And what
one-
my question is, which one of the two of you, there's only two,
She
which one of
doesn't
you
know.
did this one?
She doesn't know.
I can tell.
You can't tell? Okay. Now, at this point, when this one was written, did Brendan have his laptop or did you have his laptop? Do you know?
If we what?
At the time that this one was written, which I told you was January 19th, 2023,
They might be trying to catch her, and because I believe it was all on Christine's laptop and not his laptop. So I think they might be trying to get her to say that it was his laptop, but I think it was, according to the state, it was always on Christine's laptop or phone.
do you know if Brendan had the laptop or you had the laptop?
Well, we always had her laptop.
Okay, I guess I'm asking about you.
And I'm telling you, I do not recall if it was me or him.
She
You
doesn't
don't recall?
There's one I don't.
Okay. Do you recall who was on the laptop?
Again, either me or him.
Okay. Do you recall this message?
Again, the messages are all similar. If you scroll through all the messages exchanged, they're all very similar.
Right. But there were certain things that you would write and there were certain things that he would write. You testified that to the ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen of the jury.
Yeah.
Do you see any of the things that you traditionally would write when you were reviewing this?
I normally use some different words than he used to use. I
Did you read this?
wouldn't use I am without the apostrophe, for example. I normally say I'm. I talk different ways sometimes, like, yeah, but I can tell some stuff that I wouldn't say,
Okay.
like dumb, like,
So your position is you just don't know.
Yes.
I did what?
You just don't know
Yes.
I don't know what.
whether you did this or not.
Yes.
Well, I'm supposed to say for sure, right? So
Well,
I'm
just
not
asking
gonna
between
guess.
the two of you in the plan,
Yeah, so
who did it and who didn't?
you're telling
All right. So once again, she does not remember for that exact message which one of them did it. And the defense is trying to create some doubt, and we will see how they continue to cross-examine other experts. We will see how many of these messages. I don't know if they're going to read them in, or I know some things are being filed under seal where they're showing the witness and it's going to go back as an exhibit, but they are not reading a lot of this aloud. And because I do think a lot of this does get to be a bit explicit. And I think they're aware this is being streamed and all of those things. I do wonder if the likability of the witness, if that will play a role into how people view her credibility. I do think that she was frustrated with the questions by the defense attorney, but the defense attorney is just doing his job. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. And looks like people were saying, so 46% said during this cross-examination that it was neither hurting or helping. 33% at first or at some point maybe thought some of this was hurting the defense, and 21% said helping the defense. And I will see you all no later than Saturday. Stay tuned to your notifications if I'm able to stream before then. Oh, wow. This worked well from my office. I brought some things with me. So I have my camera. I keep a mic here. but I made sure to wire. I had to do some things. This took some work, but it worked out well. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see y'all later. Have a good one. Take care of yourself. Watch something funny. Breathe. Definitely take breaks from true crime as you need, and I will see you all next time. Bye.